Well, hello there, greetings from the Aviva Stadium. Welcome along. A huge night for the Republic of Ireland and their Euro 2020 hopes. A win this evening goes a very long way indeed. The Swiss are in Dublin. Kickoff is at 7:45 and we've got live commentary for you right here on Off the Ball. Nathan Murphy is alongside me. He'll be alongside David Meyler in about 45 minutes time or so. 53106 is the text number. We are at Off the Ball on Twitter. Good evening, Nathan Murphy.
Good evening, Joe Molloy.
Huge night this evening in store. Ireland are out warming up to our right, yet to see the Swiss come out in force, but we do have team news for everybody.
We do, very much as expected for both sides. So just the one change from the last time we were here in June when the Republic of Ireland beat Gibraltar, that sees Glenn Whelan return to the side in place of Scott Hogan. The only real decision though was that position on the right of midfield, and Callum Robinson has started the season so well since that move to Sheffield United. He was always favoured to take that role, and he has been selected. Had a bit of a niggle, which meant he sat out that final training session yesterday, but he is fine. But aside from that, for the Republic of Ireland, it is very much a tried and tested formula for Mick McCarthy over these four qualifiers that we've been through so far. Darren Randolph continues in goals. Seamus Coleman would captain the side from right back, with Enda Stevens at left back, and then in the heart of the defence it's Shane Duffy and Richard Keogh. No place for John Egan despite starting the season in the Premier League with Sheffield United. In the middle of midfield it'll be Glenn Whelan, Conor Howerhan and Jeff Hendrick, who wins his 50th cap for Ireland tonight. James McLean and Callum Robinson will provide the wings. David Mcgoldrick leads the line. Both Mcgoldrick and Robinson still waiting for their first Irish goals. For the Swiss, who have talked about the importance of this game for them ever since they blew that 3-0 lead against Denmark, they've really felt they're on the back foot in this group. But if they can come away with a positive performance and result here, they'll be in pole position to take one of the two automatic qualification places. The big story around them is obviously that Xherdan Shaqiri isn't here and has some issues, it seems, with the management, is focusing on his club career. Either way, when we saw this group, we thought the two most important players might be Christian Eriksen for Denmark and Xherdan Shaqiri for Switzerland. So it's obviously a boost. David Mcgoldrick couldn't hide his joy yesterday when they found out. There are still some quality players in there, some recognisable names, most notably their captain, Granit Xhaka, who will start in the middle of midfield, the Arsenal midfielder, winning his 77th cap. They're as expected as well. It'll be a 3-4-2-1, maybe more 3-5-2 at times for them. They'll try and pass it out from the back. They'll try and dominate possession. They'll probably be let do that as well, considering the way the Republic of Ireland have said. And I'd imagine Granit Xhaka is going to try and run the show. Ireland will probably be happy for him to run the show, as long as it's deep inside his own half.
The Swiss have pedigree. We know that they're 11th in the world. They drew up Brazil in the last World Cup. They qualified for the knockout stages. They beat Serbia en route. They've also featured in the knockout stages at Euro 2016 and the 2014 World Cup. They won their Nations League group. They put 5 past Belgium. They put 6 past Iceland. Really, you take away that horror show for 8 minutes against the Danes, where they conceded those 3 goals, and they've been very, very impressive. As the group stands, to put tonight into context, effectively here, Ireland and the Swiss are level. Ireland have played 4 games and have 10 points. The Swiss have played 2 games and have 4 points. The only difference really is Ireland have played Gibraltar twice. Otherwise, both sides have played Georgia and beaten them. Both sides have played Denmark and drawn. So effectively, assuming Gibraltar don't do us a seismic favour, Ireland and the Swiss are level this evening, and really what will define this group, presuming there are no muck-ups, is how Ireland get on against Denmark and the Swiss. And tonight is one of those rare, wonderful moments where you have a big team at home. It's how we got to World Cups in the past. It's how we got to European Championships in the past.
Every qualification has had a moment at Lansdowne Road or at the Aviva Stadium. You need to win your home games. You need to get a victory. It is a little mini group, we feel, provided you get the wins over Georgia and Gibraltar between Ireland, Denmark and Switzerland. And Switzerland are, you go through the record, probably the most underestimated side in world football. They're consistently in around the top 10 in the world rankings. Qualified for 6 of the last 7 tournaments. They know how to get the job done in qualifications. They don't panic. They have an expectancy that they will deliver, whereas Ireland don't have that. We never quite know, and this is obviously, it's such a short-term fix with Mick McCarthy that this is a huge night for Mick McCarthy. He said it, he knows that really Ireland in the last campaign, at home it didn't happen. It was away where the performances were. They need to find something tonight, and it's a strange atmosphere around. It's been a little bit dead around, I think. There's been a lot of other stuff going on at the moment. You would hope that by the time kickoff comes, it'll be packed and people will realise just how important it is.
Yeah, sure. The last time I was here with you for a big game, excluding Gibraltar, there were tennis balls on the pitch. I presume that won't be the case this evening.
I wouldn't bet against it.
Maybe not. Just to take a brief aside, so David Meyler will be on co-commentary with Nathan this evening, but first, another man from Cork. Roy Keane and Gary Neville were our guests last night in the Bord Gáis Energy Theatre, all in association with Cadbury, official snack partner of the Premier League. You can podcast the full show, you can watch it all on YouTube. We had them out there for 3 hours. I'm sure you've seen the more explosive moments. We're not going to relive that right now, that's for sure. On Saturday we'll play you the full conversation around the glory years at Man United, the treble in '99. For tonight, and for time purposes, just to give you a sense of things, just as we were wrapping up the Manchester United conversation, naturally Roy's time there didn't end well. There was the MUTV video where he analysed their defeat to Middlesbrough, a 4-1 loss, and all hell broke loose after that, and it culminated in a meeting with all the players marched up to Alex Ferguson's office. So naturally enough, that came out in conversation with Roy Keane and Gary Neville last night.
I was supposed to be doing that Middlesbrough MUTV thing, and I swapped with him because of
I was injured.
He was injured, and I don't know how it happened, but we swapped basically. We're both injured, but Roy had been away or something like that. Anyway, the manager came down into the dressing room, and the minute that he said, you know, you need to watch the video, everyone needs to watch the video, and you said, yeah, come on, let's go upstairs, I thought, that's it. That's it. I just knew. I knew Roy, I knew the manager, he knew the manager. I just thought that was it. There was no way that he was going to step back. There was no way the manager was going to step back. There were things that were said in that room, to be honest with you, that I thought. There was a moment where you spoke to Carlos, and I think he said something to the manager that I remember. I'm not going to, it's for you to say what you want to say. And I just think, I thought, no, there's no way that this is going to carry on. I was hoping it could. I think Roy makes a point earlier that's absolutely true. I think if Roy had been 27, 28, at the level playing that he probably was at 27, 28, I think he did say things when he was 27, 28 that you could deem to be unacceptable. But I think at 34, it was just coming to an end. And I'm asked Roy the question, would you, the manager, have got rid of Roy Keane, the player, after that meeting? I think you would.
No.
I think you would. No, I'm not asking you a question.
Well, I think the meeting was right at the end, but I wouldn't have let it get to that.
No, but I think if a player come into the dress, I think if that meeting was horrific, by the way. I mean, it was.
Which meeting? The meeting in the dressing room?
No, the meeting where we watched the video. Oh. It was horrific. Let's be clear here. No, I'm not. It's not fun, honestly. There were some lines in there that were. No, honestly, it was horrific.
What are you talking about? The video or the meeting?
The video, the meeting. The watching of the video, then the meeting after that, which was basically Roy and the manager, Carlos, Edward, the bit that, it was horrific. For lads in the dressing room...
He has it in his book, what he said.
Pardon?
He has it in his book, what he said to Kieros and Ferguson.
Yeah.
So.
For the lads in the dressing room who had obviously been in the club for 10, 15 years, to see this happening, it was horrific. Honestly, I mean, we spoke up, Giggsy would speak up, I would speak up. Honestly, you couldn't say anything. You could not say anything. It was, you thought, oh, for fuck's sake. You knew that was, you knew that was it. You knew that was it.
I didn't.
You didn't? I didn't. I genuinely believe this. I genuinely believe that Roy Keane, the manager, would have gotten rid of Roy Keane, the player, that day.
No, Gary, you're so wrong, man.
No, I think you would. I think you would. I think you would. But actually, from our point of view, as players, we didn't have a problem. We did not have a problem because we worked with Roy for 12 years. From our point of view, I think his interview after Bayern Munich, maybe in 2002, where he went straight on to ITV at the time, I thought that was probably more harsh than maybe the stuff that was said on the video on the day. You remember you questioned the...
Yeah, but the manager didn't mind me doing stuff like that.
No, that's what I mean. That's my point. I thought that was actually worse from a point of view of more public. It was more... So for me, I was sat there thinking, fuck, this is horrific. It's a bad meeting. It was a shocking day. It was a shocking day, honestly it was. And I can only say that from a point of view. Every player in that dressing room walked out of that room that day thinking, fuck hell, something's going to give here. Something's going to give. And it had been coming at it for a month. It had been coming for a month or 6 weeks. There was something else happened. I can't remember what it was. Something else happened before that, I think. There's something else happened. I thought, it's just... I'd seen it with Bex, you know, where that relationship starts. That's how Bex is, you know, in the stand at Leeds, if you remember.
Yeah.
And you just see it happening, and you just think...
It'd be easy to look at that as a sliding doors moment of you swapping to do that Middlesbrough game, but the way you're talking, even if you hadn't gone on MUTV, something would have happened around then? Was the writing on the wall?
I see it slightly different to Gary, as I would do, because I was obviously in the middle of it. But even, again, I suppose my few hang-ups is go, yeah, there was all that tension, and just say, yeah, it was coming to a breaking point, then you handle it differently. Would it be, I'm sitting down with David Gill, and they're passing me statements about how long I've been at the club, cash flow problems, leaving, but you can sign for another club. These are just lies. That's the bit.
I mean, we obviously, we need to say...
Yeah, of course.
I'm hearing this for the first time, that bit. I mean, I'd not heard that, but we obviously were, after the Friday...
Yeah.
After the Wednesday, whatever it was, Tuesday or Wednesday, the meeting happened with the video. What happened after that? I don't think you came in. Did you not come in for 2 days, or did you come in?
I think I was, yeah.
Was you?
Yeah, where else would I gone?
To your own villa in Portugal, but...
I'll tell you the strange thing about the villa. I go back to this. You started something. No, let me finish this now.
He came up, he said...
Your brother's involved in this. I'd been on holiday for a week. This is vital. I came up with Carlos because he's Portuguese. It was his pal doing all the villas. Brought me to this villa. My daughter's here tonight and she'll back me up. She was 1 at the time, but she'll back me up. We walked around. My wife is a very placid woman, believe it or not, and we walked around this villa. Carlos was involved in it, and I remember going, there's glass tables, there was a plunge pool, it was like 3 bedrooms, and I'm going, this won't do with the family. This, obviously, I'm with 5 kids at the time. I'm going, no. And I remember saying to Carlos, but we've just, and I rang the people who we just left the villa from, and we were paying that. And I went, is it available for another week? And ironically, what I found out later on, Scholesy wasn't staying on the resort. He was staying down with his family, no big deal. And I think Phil, and the manager eventually got upset with me, but what he was doing was organising lunches. And I guarantee you, me and my wife and my family were at every lunch and every meal where all the other players were off doing. So this idea that I was off site and doing my own thing. And I remember the manager came, he came out 1 or 2 days late. That was it. And Carlos obviously was saying, I had a fallout with Roy and he's staying at this villa. And Ferguson pulled me in again in the dressing room and the players were effing and blind and going, I said, what is the bit? Like really, to me going, and I felt like saying, well, there's other players staying outside, but I didn't want to throw them under the bus with me. And I remember going, what? And it, really over the top stuff. And I remember we were training the next day, and typical Ferguson, we're all doing stretches. And he walks over, if you remember this, because the owner of the complex as well, or one of the owners, was a Dutch guy. Fergus, do you remember? Yeah. So we're all sitting there doing stretches. We're all doing stretches. First came over, I'm looking for some senior players. Walk past me, obviously, forget that I'm the captain. I need some senior players, you know, Gary, Ryan, and whoever it was. You've got to go for the Chinese tonight, am I right? Was it a Chinese?
I think it may have been, yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Chinese. And they were going for the Chinese. Yeah, without you, Roy, you know, like, you can stick your Chinese. So it was all that kind of, basically, all Ferguson's fault.
And
I like the Chinese as well, I thought.
I always remember saying, you know, all these things that were wrong with his villa, and then like this delay, and the pool's fucking freezing.
It was a plunge pool. It was freezing. Got 5 children. Christ.
The pool was cold.
Would you have stayed there?
You know,
you just told me you've been skiing 5 times in the last year. Where do you get the money for that?
I like it.
Jesus. It's loaded. So that was the start of it.
Yeah, no, sure. The clock's against us, so just literally one last question on it, really. You know when you're in the office and you've just watched the video and the stuff you're referencing, Roy talks about it in his book, what he said to Kiraz, I won't repeat it here, you know, you're a bit of a go at Ferguson. Does any part of you, when you're in that zone where stuff's coming out, think, I am crossing the line here?
No, you gotta relax yourself here a second. Because same with Saipan, people say, oh, you know, could you handle it differently?
Yeah.
Could you stood back? What, and let people walk all over you? The key is, when I watch this video, whatever about was said afterwards, listen, I'm sure you go into it later. Same with Saipan. People making accusations against you, and you're sitting there going, what do you want to say? Going, no, yeah, that's fine. You're going to fight. You have to fight your corner. You have to defend yourself. And again, the key for me is whatever the video on Gary said, it was intense. We'd had a lot of heated discussions over the years, sometimes as a team. But you got to roll with that. That's grown men. We're fighting for the same things. There is going to be a bit of argy-bargy. I'm sure there's people here working in industries where things get heated. I didn't leave the office that day and thinking, that's the end of my career at Manchester United. I didn't think so. Listen, I didn't think it was all great. You know, let's go for a bite to eat tonight. But I'm thinking, this is all. And sometimes I think when you have these debates or heated arguments, I think it's good. I think it's good because you're all looking for the same things. You're all hungry. You want the same thing. No problem. But if you think I'm going to sit there, I don't care if it's Alex Ferguson or the Pope, and they start saying, yeah, you got to do it. Yeah, I'm going to fight my corner. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. But then,
because I tell you, if I sat there and said that, and I get into the players, they'd be going, hey, what's up with him? Just like a few months earlier when Carlos Queiroz threw the bib at me when you just stand up front. I had to take that and go, all right, listen, sometimes the coaches are upset with something. Listen, I'll roll with it.
Yeah.
But when they treat you with such disrespect and then put statements in front of you and say, all right, thanks for 11.5. Ferguson he was pulling me a couple of days later going, listen, right, your days are numbered. We'll get to January, or let's get to the end of the season. And I tell you what, I was at the club when Brian Robson left. I was at the club when Steve Bruce left. Two brilliant servants for Man United. And I didn't like the way they were treated at the end. So people talk about Ferguson's man management. Don't be kidded on by all of it either. Yeah. Don't be kidded on by all that. And Ferguson came out afterwards going, well, I always done what was best for United, Manchester United. Nonsense. His son played for the club, won a league medal, Darren. Very lucky. His brother was chief scout for Man United for a long time. Hey, listen, I'm surprised his wife wasn't involved on the staff somewhere. Darren, his son, was at Preston one time. Darren loses his job. A couple of young players on loan for Man United. Guess what happens the next day? They're pulled out of Preston. Is that what's doing the best for Man United? Do me a favour.
In Pret a Manger this morning, I was so calm.
When did you last speak to Ferguson?
Yesterday.
Not since then, obviously.
Not one conversation?
I think when he apologises to me, I probably will say hello to him, yeah. No interest in speaking to the man.
Nothing even over the past year, the ill health, made you think, maybe I'll just give him a call, maybe life's too short?
No. When he apologises to me. And David Gill. No problem.
Yeah, there you are. That's some of last night's road show at the Bord Gáis Energy Theatre with thanks to Cadbury. Just wanted to give you a taster. That was a snippet. And just to stress, by the way, in terms of Roy's recollection of how things ended at Manchester United, they are his own views. The other parties involved, namely Alex Ferguson and David Gill, may very well have a different account or memory of how things panned out. If you want to watch the full show, we did 3 hours with them. Obviously, a few headlines have been made in particular, but there's a 3-hour show there to be watched or listened to at offtheball.com or at youtube.com/offtheball, or you'll get us as well on OTB Sports Radio. We are here at the Aviva Stadium, a huge night in prospect. Kick-off 24 minutes away. Short break, we're back with David Meyler.
Off the Ball on News Talk.
If you can't get to Japan, create the stadium atmosphere in your home with Harvey Norman. We have a huge range, low prices and interest-free finance terms available. Get the Panasonic 65-inch premium 4K TV for €1,499 or just €45 a month. Or the Sony 55-inch 4K Android TV for €999 or just €86 a month. Get TV ready at Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
Terms and conditions apply, subject to assessment. Finance provided by Flexify Europe Limited. For full terms and conditions, visit harveynorman.ie/finance.
The Motorsport Show, RDS Simmons Court, Dublin. A must-attend event for all motorsport fans, experts, collectors and car enthusiasts. Featuring performance cars, rally cars, drifters, Formula 1 simulator, live runway and much, much more. Saturday 23rd and Sunday 24th November. Tickets from €55 on sale now. Additional charges may apply. For more, see themotorsportshow.com.
Proudly supported by Off the Ball. The Sport Ireland campus Blanchardstown is the home of Irish sport, not just for our athletes but for you in the community. Check out our amazing offers for families with kids camps, sport academies and birthday parties. Or for adults, why not join our gym with a 50-metre pool? Or your club, school, friends can book one of our world-class indoor or outdoor facilities, including our athletics track, soccer, basketball or badminton courts and many more. Check us out on sportirelandcampus.ie.
Healthy lessons for all the family with Aileen Murta, Murta's Life Pharmacy Athboy, one of over 70 life pharmacies nationwide.
Back to school often brings an increase in infections, so it's a good idea to boost kids' defences with a multivitamin and get them to bring tissues and hand sanitisers to help keep the bugs at bay.
This September, talk to the team at your Life Pharmacy about the 3 for 2 on selected vitamins and other health essentials. Life Pharmacy. Live better together.
Listen up, class. Aldi's Play Rugby sticker promotion is back. Collect official Irish rugby stickers every time you spend €30 in Aldi. Fill your primary school's poster for a chance to win one of 2 €50,000 prizes or one of 10 €10,000 prizes for your school's playing facilities. Tomorrow, Japanese for beginners. Konnichiwa, kids.
Konnichiwa, sir.
Aldi, official supermarket of the IRFU. Full details at aldi.ie/playrugby. Promotion runs 10th of August to the 8th of November 2019.
The Aer Lingus September sale is now on. This year, put hibernation to bed and wake up to winter with great value flights. Book North America from €159 each way as part of a return trip. And swap duvet days for winter getaways. Don't snooze through the season. Wake up to winter. Smart books now in the September sale. Smart flies Aer Lingus. Book now at airlingus.com. Offer subject to conditions and availability.
If you can't get to Japan, create the stadium atmosphere in your home with Harvey Norman. We have a huge range, low prices and interest-free finance terms available. Get the Panasonic 65-inch premium 4K TV for $1,499 or just €45 a month. Or the Sony 55-inch 4K Android TV for $999 or just €86 a month. Get TV ready at Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
Terms and conditions apply, subject to assessment. Finance provided by Flexify Europe Limited. For full terms and conditions, visit harveynorman.ie/finance.
The 2019 Boyle Sports World Grand Prix Darts is back at the City West Convention Centre, Dublin from the 6th to the 12th of October. See 32 of the biggest darting stars on the planet, including world number 1 Michael van Gerwen, former Grand Prix champion Darrell Gurney, plus fan favourite Peter Wright. Get your tickets now at ticketmaster.ie and search darts. The 2019 Boyle Sports World Grand Prix Darts at City West. Game on.
On September 17th, the Aviva Stadium plays host to the 1-0 Sports Business Conference. Experience the off-the-field future of the sports industry with the NFL, Microsoft, Nike and Formula One. 4 stages, 40 international speakers, world-leading brands. Tickets are available at 1-0.com.
Relax this evening and visit itsforwomen.ie. Great value car insurance for those on the go. Get the cover you need day or night at itsforwomen.ie. It's time to own it.
Football on Off the Ball.
Now then, welcome back to the Aviva Stadium. A huge night for Ireland. Euro 2020 qualification very much at stake. The Swiss are here. The Irish team has been named. As expected, really, if you haven't caught it thus far. Randolph in goal, back four of Coleman, Duffy and Richard Keogh, Enda Stevens, who's been playing so well and did so well at Stamford Bridge at the weekend as at left back. We then have a midfield three of Glenn Whelan. Don't write off Glenn Whelan. Conor Horan and Jeff Hendrick. And then we have Callum Robinson and James McLean either side of David Mcgoldrick, and we'll see how all that pans out. No Shaqiri, of course, for the Swiss this evening. We have David Meyler alongside us. Good evening.
How are you?
Thanks for joining us. I'm sure you'd much rather be down there with your teammates. I guess it's even strange to call them your former teammates now.
Yeah, of course. Like I'm only recently retired and obviously seen the lads there. I spoke to a lot of them this morning. Wish them all the best for tonight. So it is a bit different, but it is what it is.
The decision to retire?
Yeah, look, obviously I had a difficult time in the summer with my knee, and I looked at, seeing a surgeon to try and get see if I could get help basically. And we sat down, I had scans and we talked through all my different options, and some of them were difficult to hear, and I originally did my cruciate in 2010, and basically I've had 9 good years and it's caught up with me, and unfortunately I had to make a decision, but at the moment I'm at ease with it anyway.
And was the advice from the surgeon a flat, David, this ain't happening, pal, you're done, or was there a potential way to manage it and go in a programme and try and eke out another year? Or
see, the problem is, right, you can ask someone what's your opinion, but they're not in your body, they're not going through what you're going through, they don't have your mindset, or they don't have the mental issues that come with it.
As in the stress, the
whole package, really. The surgeon gave me 4 options. First option was continue what I was doing to see if I could get any better. He said maybe try another 3-4 weeks. I had done that for 11 weeks and hadn't got better, and that was originally why I went to see the surgeon, to see if he could help me. He offered me surgery, which he didn't want to do, which would be a clean-up operation, but because of the extent of the injuries I had over the years, he said any surgeon could go in and tidy up your knee a little bit, but he said it's not going to make a difference. He used a great example of like a road and potholes, and how like if you have 1 pothole on a road you can tarmac over it, if you have 2 or 3 potholes you can tarmac over them, but eventually he said basically you've 1 huge pothole and you've about 20 around it. And he said you might as well dig the road up and start again, which came to me my 3rd option, which was major surgery, which was 12 to 18 months out, with a 10% chance of returning to football.
Wow.
And then
don't like that option.
No, but then he suggested that for a better lifestyle
long term.
So
and are you considering going with that?
No, not at the moment. I know there will come a day when I will need a metal knee. I've already had that discussion, but hopefully I can prolong my life for another 15-20 years before I have that. But look, it is what it is. I'm very grateful the times I had, the moments I've had, from Cork City, Sunderland, Hull, you know what I mean, Reading, Coventry, and then obviously playing with Ireland. It's the pinnacle of it all. So
you've had a brilliant career. We should sit down and talk about it properly some evening and
of
over
course,
a cup of tea and do that.
I'd love to.
We just touched on it here during the ad break, and it's something up here we can take for granted, and I want to get your thoughts on the game in a moment. But you just referenced what it meant for you, for your family, to play for Ireland. It's this massive thing, and we all think you guys start to take it for granted after a while. I sense you never did.
No, playing for Ireland is the biggest honour. You're representing your country. I was asked, I'd say a couple of years ago, what I thought the big problem with England was. For me, this is just my personal opinion, this is no one else's. All these players, the great players that England have had, they've all grown up wanting to play. I'm going to use Wayne Rooney as an example. Wayne Rooney grew up wanting to play for Everton.
Yes.
Right? You have other lads who've come through with things like Ashley Cole at Arsenal. He grew up wanting to play for Arsenal, right? Those players grew up want to play for their local clubs. Now in Ireland we're probably a little bit different, that the League of Ireland isn't on the same stature as the Premier League, or the clubs aren't as big as the English clubs. I grew up wanting to play for Ireland. That was all I ever dreamt of. I never really thought about playing in League of Ireland. I just said one day I want to play for Ireland. And I could never put into words the moments I've had playing for Ireland, even when I played against Germany out in Gelsenkirchen when John O'Shea won his 100th cap and he scored in the last minute. We went over to greet the fans in the corner, and I'm walking off and my mum and dad had travelled over. They'd gotten the ferry over to the Netherlands, or flew to the Netherlands and got a car down, and I saw my dad crying. He might give out to me that. I'm not crying, but tears of joy, in the sense of like what we've done to the World Cup champions backyard, and we've drawn 1-1. It was a tough game, but when you put in the hard work and you get the rewards at the end of it, there's no greater satisfaction.
Yeah, I can imagine. Let's talk about all that another time. This match this evening, the Swiss are 11 in the world, bar this 8-minute bit of madness against the Danes where they gave away 3 goals. They've been very, very impressive for quite a long time now. No Shaqiri, I know, but this is a very, very good team we're up against tonight. Do you take a draw? Is that a good result? Do you think Ireland can go and win? How do you see this? It's not easy to call.
I think you have to approach the game if you look at it from the outside, if you look at the group table, you probably say Switzerland need to win more than Ireland do. So if we can contain them, then great. But you can't kind of go into the game with the mentality that let's not get beat. We need to come in and be fully focused on winning. Now, as you touched on, it's hard for me to say kind of current teammates when they were I'm now finished, but I know the mentality that will be in that change room, and certainly the manager, the way he speaks, he'll be approaching this to win. And there's no doubt in my mind, Seamus Coleman now, 15-20 minutes out, will be driving everyone on in the change room. Like, that's what we're not here to draw games. We're here to win, and that will be the fully focus. Now, as you said, Switzerland 11th in the world. They've kind of slipped under the radar for a while. They've had great runs in the World Cup, the Euros. They're a good team.
Yeah. That's interesting you say that about the mentality, because sometimes you come out and you wonder, like, are we trying to get in the front foot here, or has there been an emphasis on, well, we got to just keep this tight tonight, and sometimes you forget the other aspect. That's very easy in the cheap seats, as you're going to learn.
Well, I don't know if we in the cheap seats here. We have the best of you in the house.
Yeah, but you feel they're in there saying we got to win tonight. Forget about just draw. We got to go for this. Yeah.
I'm lucky enough that I played with a lot of them, so I know.
Yeah.
We're here to win the game. They want to go out and put a performance on. And look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter really about the performance as long as you win.
What has Mick brought to the party?
I suppose, obviously, a lot of people had a lot to say towards the end of Martin's reign. We can go into that another time, because I have a lot to say on that, because I was massively involved in everything. I only missed a few camps or a few games through injury, but I was there through a lot of it. Mick has come in. Obviously, it's the same. It was like when Martin took over. There's a buzz, there's a freshness. Obviously, Mick was here 17 years ago, had a great run with the World Cup and what have you, outside Pan and whatnot. So he's brought some freshness in. And look, you can see the players look regenerated and ready to go. And
a bit of freshness back in the thing.
Yeah. Look, might have similar philosophies, but it's someone different saying it. So it's a new fresh, and it's, in a way, it's weird because players get a fresh start.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, you look at David Mcgoldrick. It didn't really work out for him, but now he's back in. He's the front man.
Main man.
Probably,
yeah.
And obviously Mick knows him inside out from Ipswich. He's probably the second on the team sheet after Seamus.
Yeah. Listen, we're sorry you're not down there, but we're delighted to have you here. That is the voice of David Meyler. He's going to be on co-commentary with Nathan in just a second. Our football coverage with thanks to Paddy Power. For any and all information on responsible gambling, visit dunlewey.net, dunlewey.net. Short break, and then we are ready to go. Ireland against Switzerland is next.
Football on Off the Ball. The Home Show.
This week on The Home Show, a housing community that's affordable, low impact and sustainable. I'll find out more from the Bray Group on a mission to create such a place. In the heart of the home, I'll be joined by an expert to discuss kitchen design. And our resident design expert, Roisin Murphy, will be bringing us this week's object of design.
The Home Show with Sinead Ryan.
Brought to you by EBS.
Download the podcast on Fridays from 2 or tune in on Saturday morning at 9.
On News Talk.
At Harvey Norman, we've got the latest technology for heading off to college. Get the super slim and colourful HP notebook with Intel Core i3 processor and solid-state drive. Now only $449. Save €150. Or buy any laptop over $699 and we'll give you up to €300 cashback. Harvey Norman has the largest range and it's all in stock today. And we guarantee we'll beat all competitors' offers. Shop in store or online.
The Motorsport Show, RDS Seamus Court Dublin. A must-attend event for all motorsport fans, experts, collectors and car enthusiasts. Featuring performance cars, rally cars, drifters, Formula 1 simulator, live runway and much, much more. Saturday 23rd and Sunday 24th November. Tickets from €55 on sale now. Additional charges may apply. For more, see themotorsportshow.com.
Proudly supported by Off the Ball. Movie buffs and sports fans are about to clash because the sale that stacks up is back. Switch to Virgin Media and get superfast broadband and TV with Virgin Media Sport, and now with the choice of Sky Sports or Sky Cinema. All for an awesome €55 a month for 12 months. The sale that stacks up. Now on. See virginmedia.ie.
T's and C's apply. See virginmedia.ie. New customers only. 12-month contract. Offer ends 2nd of October 2019.
The penalty for using a mobile phone while driving is an automatic 3 points on your licence and a €60 fine. Mobile distraction can impair your judgment and reaction time as much as driving under the influence. That's why there's no legal limit for mobile phone use. No ifs, no buts, no excuses. One text, one call, one look could be the cause of a fatal collision. It won't kill you to put it away. From the Road Safety Authority and on Garda Síochána.
Joe loves doubles. Joe has a double barrel surname. He goes double Dutch on double dates, and on those dates he wears double denim. Joe sleeps with a double down duvet by a double glazed window, and he has 2 fancy cars which he stores in his double garage. So Joe did a double take when we told him that we've launched a double quarter pounder with cheese.
Double lovers, get ready. The new McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese is here. But only until the 24th of September, so get there on the double.
Our inspired by Centra premium pizzas are perfection. Choose from plum tomato and buffalo mozzarella, prosciutto and spicy salami, or char-grilled vegetable. Mix and match any 2 for only €8. Mouth-watering moments created by you. Inspired by Centra. Centra. Live every day.
Switch and save at Carphone Warehouse. Save up to €189 on exclusive deals with 3 you won't find anywhere else. Get the Samsung Galaxy S10e or the Huawei P30 with a smartwatch GT for free. Yes, free. Both are available on a €45 a month plan with 3. With all-you-can-eat data, but only when you switch at Carphone Warehouse. Or upgrade to next level power with the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. Available to order now. T's and C's apply. Offer subject to availability and 24-month contract.
I hear you some wiring needs a fixing, ma'am. The name's Buzz. On account of my work.
No chance.
Not all cowboys ride horses. All safe electric registered electrical contractors must give you a certificate of completion that shows their work meets approved standards. Find one nearby on safeelectric.ie.
The Aer Lingus September sale is now on. This year, put hibernation to bed and wake up to winter with great value flights. Fly to Europe from $29.99 one way, including taxes and charges. And swap early nights for winter sights. Don't snooze through the season. Wake up to winter. Smart books now in the September sale. Smart flies Aer Lingus. Book now at airlingus.com. Offer subject to conditions and availability.
The Harvey Norman home sale is ending soon, with massive deals across our entire furniture and bedding range. Something stylish for every room in the house, and amazing prices, like sofas from just $389, dining tables from €140, up to 50% off bed frames, incredible deals on Irish-made mattresses, and saves of up to $100 on mirrors, rugs, lighting, and so much more in store and online. But hurry, the Harvey Norman home sale ends soon.
Go, Harvey, go!
Funny how small things matter most. Imagine if all 10 million cups of tea we drink in Ireland every day were powered by 100% green energy and not by burning fossil fuels. And imagine if all our dishwashers, hairdryers and TVs were powered by green energy too. Isn't that a future worth acting on? Go to sseelectricity.com now to view our range of switching offers and join us in changing the world, one cup of tea at a time. SSE Electricity. This is Generation Green. Terms and conditions apply.
Football on Off the Ball.
Yeah, welcome back to the Aviva Stadium. We are progressing through the formalities. In a moment we'll have live commentary of the Republic of Ireland against Switzerland in this crucial Group D qualifier. We've just had President Michael D. Higgins on the pitch shaking hands. We're now having the Swiss national anthem to be followed by Aaron Levine. There we are, we're ready to go. Your commentary team this evening. David Meyler, and first, Nathan Murphy.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Joe. These are the nights we thrive on, says Mick McCarthy in his pre-match programme notes. These are the nights he needs these Irish players to thrive on, because we could well be over halfway through Mick McCarthy's second spell in charge of the Republic of Ireland. The first spell came to an end after a defeat against Switzerland. He needs much, much more this evening. The first half of this Group D campaign, well, it couldn't have gone much better for the Republic of Ireland. 10 points from 12. That victory over Gibraltar last night, capping off what even Seamus Coleman, the captain, said was the easier side of the draw. Now Switzerland come to town. Denmark come next month as well. These are big games for the Republic of Ireland, and the team gets set for their pre-match photo. The Aviva Stadium, as always, slowly but surely starting to fill up, expecting up towards 35,000-40,000 here on this cloudy Thursday night in Dublin. It is clear skies, though. There is no rain here at all this evening so far. Perfect conditions for football, and the Republic of Ireland side in green, lining out very much as expected. Darren Randolph in goal. The back four at this stage almost picks itself. Seamus Coleman, Shane Duffy, Richard Cohen into Stevens. In midfield it'll be Glenn Whelan winning this afternoon and this evening his 88th Republic of Ireland cap. Jeff Hendrick wins his 50th cap today for the Republic of Ireland, with Conor Howerhan also in that midfield. Callum Robinson plays on the right, James McLean on the left, while David Mcgoldrick will continue his quest for a first international goal by leading the line. For Switzerland, well, no Xherdan Shaqiri was the big story pre-match. The other change, and the other expected changes really, have seen Breel Mbolo come in. He is the replacement for Shaqiri, lightning quick, could cause Ireland all sorts of problems. Granit Xhaka captains the side. The team in full that are probably going to play something of a 3-4-2-1 formation. Jan Summers, their goalkeeper. The back three, Veddy, Akanji and Newcastle United's Fabian Schär. Kevin Mbabu and Ricardo Rodriguez are the wing backs. Dennis Zakari and Granit Xhaka playing the holding midfield as they try and dominate possession, with Breel Mbolo and Remo Freuler behind the in-form Haris Seferovic. We are having a minute's applause, as is now tradition here at the Aviva Stadium, for those members of the football family who have sadly passed away since the last international back in June. The two teams gathering around the centre circle. Everybody, the Swiss fans down to our left-hand side, the big travelling support that has come over for this, also applauding. And we are almost ready to go here at the Aviva Stadium. Alongside me for the night is the very recently retired David Meyler. Any pangs right now?
No, I'm excited. As we look down there now, Seamus Coleman is giving his final thoughts to the lads.
What's he saying?
Some explicit stuff probably. Just look at a last bit of motivation. Obviously Seamus is a proud Donegal man and a proud Irishman, so he'll be letting everybody focused and ready for this.
Seamus Coleman doesn't curse, does he?
Oh, he does, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know.
As a startling revelation to start the night.
Yeah, the Seamus Coleman I know in the changing room and on a field is a lot different than the one you meet across the media side.
We've had a few flares set off in the last couple of minutes. It means it's a little bit smoky around the stadium, but we are ready to go, and it is Switzerland who are in their white jerseys, red shorts and white socks, who attack down to our right hand side. The Republic of Ireland, as I said, in their traditional home kit, green jerseys, white shorts and green socks. And right from the off we can see that Switzerland are playing with that back three, and a little bit of pressure put on for Callum Robinson, and instantly a mistake at the back, an overhit back pass, and it's out of play for a very early corner kick to the Republic of Ireland inside the opening 30 seconds. A bad mistake from Akanji. He's got a little bit confused, and we know just how much of a threat the Republic of Ireland certainly want to be from set pieces. Shane Duffy, the last night we were here against Gibraltar, was disgusted with himself. 30 set pieces Ireland had that night. They didn't take advantage. Can they now? Howerhan towards the near post. It bounces inside the air. It came off the back of one of the Swiss players, and they'll come clear on the counter-attack. They're flying forward through the middle now. It's Seferovic. It's helped on now towards the pace of Mbolo, but James McLean tracked the run well. A sliding challenge in there by the Swiss player, but Ireland come away. Mcgoldrick just a little bit slow in the uptake, but the referee blows his whistle and gives Ireland the free kick. A pretty frantic start.
Yeah, I know it was good pressure from Callum Robinson down the right hand side there to put Akanji under pressure. Obviously kicked it out for the corner, but then Conor obviously is looking at Mcgoldrick at the front post. I'm a bit surprised with that when you spoke about Duffy and how good he is in the air, being 6'6". So I think towards the game as it shapes out, I think Conor will be obviously hitting towards the back area for Duffy.
Long clearance from the Swiss goalkeeper Sommer, one of 4 players from Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Swiss team tonight, and a clearance there by the Republic of Ireland, just straight out of play over on the far side of the pitch, and a good crowd in the end. Unfortunately for Ireland, with the way these fixtures are set up in the football week, as UEFA now said it, all of Ireland's fixtures have been midweek, which obviously makes it very difficult for people coming up from the country. But again, a decent crowd in as a Swiss attack up the left hand side comes to nothing. The ball trickles out of play for a goal kick, and it will be taken by Middlesbrough's Darren Randolph, who's kept clean sheets in 4 of his last 5 competitive games for the Republic of Ireland. Just the 1 goal conceded in this Euro 2020 qualifying campaign. That's scored by Pierre-Emerick Højbjerg in that game in Denmark. But Ireland generally been very solid at the back, and as I said, it's more or less a back four that picks itself.
Like you said, that's a great stat. You know that Randolph has had 4 clean sheets in the last 5 games, so fingers crossed he can have another clean sheet tonight, and then it's up to Mcgoldrick, Robinson, McLean, even Howard Hinn, Hendrick to get on the end of a chance or create something.
Seferovic with the little flick on. Fruler trying to get on the end of it, goes down under the challenge of Glenn Whelan, and tonight's match referee pulls that back very quickly. Getting about, and it means it'll be a free kick to Switzerland right in the centre of the pitch. If you're listening in this evening online on offtheball.com or youtube.com/offtheball, anywhere around the world, do get in touch. Let us know where you're tuned in and listening in to see if this Irish side can get what will be a huge victory as they look to qualify for Euro 2020 in those 2 guaranteed home games at this very stadium. Switzerland in possession over on the far side. Seferovic has just dropped deep, 25 yards out. Little ball into Mbolo. Tried the return pass, trying to pick out the run of Fruler, but a little bit of miscommunication. Hasn't quite come off for Switzerland there, and the ball again goes out of play for another goal kick. Seferovic going to be the main focal point of that Swiss attack. 23 league goals for Benfica last season. Has scored in 5 of his last 8 appearances at international level, and it looks as though they're very much going with the front 2.
Yeah, no, I think obviously he would be the main target man, and as you said, obviously Shaqiri's not in, so Mbolo's coming for him. Another lively forward who's going to be looking to get on the end of the chances and probably link up with him. As you can see there, Seferovic did drop in to try and get on the ball to make something happen. It's just then Glenn Whelan needs to be aware of which position he's at, over the shoulders or whatever, so it's down to our centre halves to talk to him, let him know where he is.
Seamus Coleman was just bundled over on the Irish right hand side. The Swiss thought they were free and there was a little bit of space in behind, but eventually it was called back. The referee didn't seem to think it was going to be a free kick. It was maybe the assistant referee who was a good bit further away. Coleman, as is his right, I guess, as a captain. In fact, it had gone out of play, had it for a throw in, which is why the referee decided to pull that back. Coleman throws it to the feet of Glenn Whelan. Whelan can't get it forward to another green jersey though, towards Jeff Hendrick. Big night for Hendrick, obviously, winning his 50th cap tonight, and Switzerland with Mbolo on this right hand side. And James McLean trying just for a couple of early settlers, putting his boot in there and managing to win Ireland a throw in over on this near side, just in front of our commentary position. It'll be taken by Enda Stevens, who had a wonderful game at the weekend against Chelsea as Sheffield United came from 2-0 down to draw 2-2. And they really have settled into life quite nicely in the Premier League, that quartet in this Irish squad from Sheffield United. John Egan, your fellow Corkman, the only one who's missing out, but Richard Keogh and Shane Duffy haven't really done anything wrong.
Yeah, that's probably the main thing. Richard Keogh has been superb in the games of this campaign, so it's just Seamus there mishitting a pass, which is unlike him.
Yeah, it was a simple ball from Coleman, gives it to Mbolo, 25 yards out, lays it off to Seferovic. It's taken over though by Zakaria, and he then lays it off to Mbabu. Mbabu into Zakari. Ireland have managed to get men back, and that has forced Switzerland to turn around with their captain, Arsenal's Granit Xhaka, and they'll have to start again with Nico Veddy, the centre half, who steps over the halfway line, closed down quickly by McLean, who wins the ball back for Ireland in midfield, and then Glenn Whelan just calms things down, lays it off to his left hand side to Enda Stevens. Stevens wants someone to come short so he doesn't have to go long, does the right thing. Jeff Hendrick does come short, and Ireland maintain possession. Rolled over along the ground from the centre half, Richard Keogh, who's getting his best spell in the team at the moment. Had always been in and out, but very much first choice partner alongside Duffy in Ireland, going through the phases, but eventually it breaks down as Stevens tries to force the ball through to McLean, and Granit Xhaka wearing the number 10 but very much playing as a number 6 in this Swiss side. Switzerland trying to play it out from the back. Ireland picking their moments to put some pressure on. Cannes also already made that one mistake. Callum Robinson was there. And now space again in midfield for Zakaria. McLean just caught somewhat flat-footed. Zakaria lays it to this right-hand side to Mbabu. Mbabu's cross in there. Oh, it's chested down inside the air. It just went over Duffy's head, but a brilliant rescuing challenge from Shane Duffy as Mbolo chested the ball down 10 yards out. It looked as though he was poised to hit the volley, but that long, Derry right leg of Shane Duffy was just stuck out at the perfect moment.
Yeah, I think Shane's obviously just misread the flight of the ball there. He's got caught underneath it. Lucky for us, Mbolo took a poor touch on the chest, which gave Duffy get back to recover and clear the ball.
It really hasn't been a good start for Manuel Akanyi. The Dortmund defender is playing on the left of the back three. It is Fabian Schär of Newcastle United who's playing in the middle, and then Mikael Veddy of Mönchengladbach playing on the right. But a loose pass from Akanyi goes straight over the head of his teammate, so a throw into Ireland, and another ball left short. And as you can hear from the Irish fans behind us, getting a little bit frustrated already. This is what people say, David.
Yeah, I don't worry. I know fully well what it's like. My mother and father came to every game, and my mother had to bite her tongue a few times. But look, it's settled down. Obviously we're only 7.5 minutes in, but you just want to see the Irish lads probably knock the ball around a little bit more. Get everybody a touch on the ball, a couple of touches, because Switzerland are turning over possession quite easily here.
That's what's happened just there. First time we've seen two of the Irish midfielders play it quickly. Howerhan to Hendrick, up to Mcgoldrick, and then end to Stevens. Well, maybe there's some nerves in this Irish performance, because Stevens, under no pressure, just ran the ball straight out of play right in front of his manager, Mick McCarthy, at the edge of the technical area. So 8 minutes gone at the Aviva Stadium, still scoreless between the Republic of Ireland and Switzerland. Little or nothing really has happened so far in terms of chances. Ireland had that early corner kick that came to nothing. Switzerland seeing the majority of the possession. And Ireland, I wouldn't say letting the back three have the ball. They're picking their moments to press.
No, but I think for me, looking at this as a former professional footballer, it's quite interesting that they're playing three centre halves and their two wing backs are going very high in Rodriguez and Babu, that they're that high that McLean and Robertson are pressing the other two centre halves along with Mcgoldrick, and it's nearly a lay ball into midfield which is going out to the full back. So I think we need to find the right balance in closing, when to close down, when not to close down, because if the opportunity arises, like it did early on with Cullen when we won the corner, but if it doesn't, then the wing backs are on every time, and then they're receiving the ball over the halfway line.
Ball comes to this near side, and Mbabu controls it first time, tries to play it forward then towards Mbolo, but strong defending back there by James McLean, who must have run a half marathon already inside the opening 10 minutes. He's been absolutely everywhere. I know he's going through a frustrating time at club level at the moment with Stoke City, bottom of the championship. Has been a bit riled up in the couple of games we've seen of him on television, and well, listen, you know what you're going to get with James McLean.
Exactly. James is his heart on his sleeve. He'll give you 100% in everything, and at times he can be frustrating. I say that as a player, and even watching, he can frustrate you, but his heart is in the right place and he gives it everything. He takes great honour in playing for Ireland.
And Jeff Hendrick with the little header, but doesn't go anywhere. Fruler helps it on, and now Rodriguez puts the head down and bombs forward for Switzerland, drills it into the penalty area. It was well in front of Mbolo, but Richard Keogh was a little bit off balance, swiped his right boot at it and turned it over the top of his own crossbar, and it's going to be a corner kick to Switzerland. Yeah,
it will be interesting to see how, obviously, now Switzerland set up for the set pieces. We should be very strong with, the two centre halves are very good headers of the ball. Ella Stevens is another good header of the ball. So, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, they'll probably have worked on stuff during the week, Switzerland. So the lads need to be alert and aware.
And it is Ricardo Rodriguez, an experienced winger from AC Milan, who's going to take this corner kick just down to our right-hand side in front of what we always call the more hardcore group of Irish supporters behind Darren Randolph's goal. Drills it over everybody's head. And there's quite a breeze out there. Maybe he was trying to take that into account, but he absolutely put his left boot through that, flies over everybody's head and straight out of play. Mick McCarthy is, while that corner kick was going on, called Callum Robinson right across from where he's playing over on the right hand side to this near side. What do you think he's saying to him?
I think I'll touch on what I said a minute ago about the centre halves. I think probably the manager is saying, just to be careful closing them down, because inevitably it might be a bad thing to leave the centre half have the ball, so that Callum doesn't have to sprint up to him and then sprint back to the left wing back.
It doesn't happen too often, but Darren Randolph with that goal kick. Didn't just fire it forward. He picked out Enda Stevens on this left-hand side, played a nice little pass out with the goal kick. Stevens, unfortunately, had a bit of a struggle in this opening 11 minutes, just sliced his clearance, so straight out of play for a throw into the Swiss. Now forward towards Mbolo, who turned away from one challenge, takes on Coleman. Coleman does enough, uses his experience, just stepped across in front of Mbolo, because if he was past him, we know how quick he is. Ireland were in real trouble, but Coleman does enough, and the danger passes. And Stevens again, it looks as though they're almost targeting Enda Stevens. Every time he gets the ball in that left back position, they are right on top of him. He hasn't had a split second in this game, the Dubliner.
Yeah, he just needs to probably settle down, get a couple of passes. Obviously, the Swiss are trying to pin us into a corner, as you highlighted, on Enda's side. So maybe it might be a case of Richard Keogh dropping out, pop the ball back to him, pop it out to Duffy, out to Coleman, and we start the attack the other side.
Clem Whelan with the head forward, little back heel then from Robinson. Hendrick goes past one challenge, sliding tackle then through to James McLean. Chance for Ireland. McLean goes down inside the area, picks himself up, takes the shot, and it's saved down low by Jan Sommer. Best spell of play from either side in this game comes after 12 minutes for the Republic of Ireland. Quick feet from Robinson to Hendrick, onto the onrushing James McLean. It was on his right boot. He would have loved it on his left. Sort of lost his balance as he took the initial shot, up like lightning off the ground, and no real power in the second shot, but much better from Ireland.
Yeah, no, it was like Jeff Hendrick made a great break, which was a lovely flick from Callum Robinson into Jeff. Lovely bit of skill, gets through, put McLean in one-on-one, and it was great defending. The defender did enough to put James off, but I would still probably backed him on his right foot to score from probably 7-8 yards out.
He is by far and away the leading scorer in this Republic of Ireland squad. Whelan on the edge of the area, through to Hendrick. Hendrick trying to force it through there towards Seamus Coleman, who'd made the run in from the right hand side, but it was cut out back there by Akanyi. But Ireland suddenly having a period of dominance here as darkness falls over the Aviva Stadium. Still scoreless on off the ball. 13.5 minutes gone in this Euro 2020 qualifier. Enda Stevens goes in, high foot, looked as though he won the ball, and the referee is going to give him a yellow card, I think. In fact, he's rooting between. He has no cards. He has no cards, the referee, at all. He literally forgot his cards.
Okay, because it looked like he was going for his back pocket, then his front pocket. Okay.
Well, he has a yellow and a red in his hands. Well, there's no question that the ball was there to be run.
That's probably one of the problems with international football. It's a case of how high is the boot. The art of tackling in international football is a lot different than it is in the English game, where obviously all the boys have played their trade.
It is just a yellow card for that challenge on Fruler. It was a high boot from Enda Stevens. There was a little bit of panic in the commentary box, because I think it was he initially went for his top pocket, realised there was nothing there, and then he went for his back pocket. And had that temporary moment of panic. I'm sure that will, if there's a UEFA observer here, that'll be getting mentioned. Oh, you have one job as a referee.
Yeah, don't forget
bring your cards.
Well, you've got your whistle, your cards, that's it.
Well, he has his whistle, we know that.
Yeah, well he's not too whistle happy in the first 15 minutes, but that's the problem, like I said, with international football. You know, it's certain tackling, and I didn't really think it was much of a high boot. I thought the head went down and then obviously jumped up and volleyed the ball away. There wasn't much danger in it.
Good evening to John Whelan, who's listening in from Ontario in Canada during work. Don't tell the boss. He says, come on Ireland, ask Meyler for the best characters and moments in the dressing room with Ireland. Best character in the Irish dressing room.
Ooh, in this team here now it would be very hard to pinpoint one person, but in my time probably the biggest character has been Robbie Brady. Robbie's a huge character, and he's a wonderful player, and he'll be hugely missed.
And of course he scored the second goal in the last international here against Gibraltar, and you saw how much it meant to him, because he's had a terrible time with injuries. One of those players who never had the moment of the injury like Seamus Coleman, where everybody saw it, but ended up probably missing as much time. And unfortunately Brady, again struggling with a rib injury, misses out in the Ireland squad. The ball is at the feet of Aston Villa, and Cork's Conor Howard in midfield, been put under pressure by a couple of Swiss players, but does well. Lovely little back heel forward by Coleman on that right hand touchline to Robinson. Robinson squeezed out of it over there, but does enough to win the throw in for Ireland, almost midway inside that Swiss half on the Irish right as they attack down to our left, and it'll be taken by the Irish captain Seamus Coleman. To the feet of Mcgoldrick, tried to flick it on first time towards Robinson, didn't come to anything. Switzerland clear forward. Randolph was tempted to come, decided to stay. Keogh knocked it back, and a little sidestep by Darren Randolph takes him away from Briel Mbolo. And Darren Randolph has just grown so much in confidence over the last couple of years. Very much now you look at him and think he belongs in that jersey.
He's Ireland's number one, and he will be probably till he retires. Obviously you look at the two young lads, Kieran O'Hara and Mark Travers, who are just starting out their careers in a way. So, he'll have it for another few years at least anyway.
Still scoreless, 16 and a half minutes gone. Ireland have had probably the best chance. It was just a half chance for James McLean. There have been signs that Ireland are growing into the game though, and gaining a little bit of confidence. Glenn Whelan, now of Hearts, who's very much enjoying a renaissance under Mick McCarthy. Felt that his international career was over under Martin O'Neill and Roy Keane, but he's back in favour and starting in the heart of that Irish midfield. Keogh on the edge of his own area, back to Duffy, who knocks it back first time to Randolph, who smashes his right boot through it and high into the Swiss half. James McLean goes up, gets his head on it, but back there is Mbabu, and he gives it back to his goalkeeper Sommer. Switzerland will try and play it out from the back. Fabian Schär, we saw a couple of weeks ago down at Spurs' new stadium, excellent in the three-man defence for Newcastle that day when they kept Harry Kane at bay. Another free kick though for Switzerland just inside the Irish half. Mbolo goes to ground. A couple of Irish players around him, and they take it short, and now it's Freuler. Haven't seen a huge amount of Granit Xhaka in the opening 17-18 minutes of the game. Jeff Hendrick just sitting on the Arsenal man. Now forward to Seferovic, back to goal, midway inside the Irish half, lays it out to the left hand side. The run was continued forward though, might fall for Mbolo. Control just wasn't there from inside the Irish area, and McLean can try and break, run straight into Xhaka. Ball spins up into the air, it's headed down by Enda Stevens, picked up again though by Mbabu. And McLean not letting him rest, and then Mcgoldrick puts some pressure on and is adjudged to have fouled Veddy. It was just a coming together between two players. It's the sort of foul the referee's always going to give, but really there's nothing in it.
Yeah, it's like if it was a GA game now, that wouldn't be given. Like, it's just a nice shoulder to shoulder. But
here is Granit Xhaka on the halfway line, fires it right-footed out to the left-hand side onto the chest of Seferovic. He lays it off then to Rodriguez, closed down by Robinson, comes back inside, takes a little bit out of it. And now it's Xhaka getting involved again, rolling it to Veddy, the right of the back three, stepping forward. Mbabu trying to build on this right hand side, and then go to ground is Zakaria. This time he doesn't get the decision. The Irish supporters behind that goal down to our right applaud. Some good defending from the Republic of Ireland, who haven't really given up a chance yet. At this stage of the campaign, 5 games in of an 8-game campaign, if it's still scoreless in the second half, are you going for it, or do you just keep rolling with the draws and hope that when it comes to the very end you nick a win somewhere?
You've got to expect in the group that Switzerland, Denmark are going to beat Georgia and Gibraltar and what have you. So I think it's a case of if the 3 points are there, we've got to take them.
Short back pass, Darren Randolph just about gets there.
Well, we can say short, but nice weight, just enough weight.
You've been very complimentary there. Yeah. That is the voice of David Meyler, as he said himself now, former professional footballer, 26 caps for the Republic of Ireland. That night in Cardiff, I presume, the highlight?
Yeah. Do you know what? It's from my first cap to my 26th cap. They're all huge. Obviously, captain.
No chance on the break now. Keogh is there. He was under pressure from Xhaka, who, if he'd managed to just get there in the nick of time, would have been away from Richard Keogh and clear through and goal. But Keogh stood his ground well. He was strong in the challenge. And Xhaka just didn't fancy it.
Yeah, that's probably the problem with playing a holding midfielder. When they get that high, there's a bit of rush of blood. You're kind of not used to knowing what to do up there. But it comes down to that tough one there now that we're probably pressing too high, where the full-backs are probably both. So I'd say maybe for the next 5 to 10 minutes, just sit in, contain, get a touch on the ball.
And Seferovic is in now. This could be a chance for Switzerland. Oh, what a saving tackle there from Shane Duffy out to the left-hand side. Still there, Rodriguez. Brilliant ball in. This time it's the other centre half. Keogh with the diving headed clearance. Switzerland now applying some pressure. Mbabu pulls it back then to Xhaka. Spots Rodriguez free over on the left hand side. Header down, punch clear by Darren Randolph. Howerton doesn't get the connection, but eventually it's volleyed forward by James McLean. And well, Dave Mcgoldrick can put some pressure on here. A little wrap around the defender's shoulder on Fabian Schär. Goes to the ground. Mcgoldrick gives away the free kick. He didn't need to do it either. He probably had the beating of him.
I know he does, but it's 6-1 thing and half a dozen the other when he grabs hold of Mcgoldrick, and then it's always going to go in the defender's favour. That's the problem, because if he gives the foul in favour of Ireland, he has to book him.
Well, it was end to end all of a sudden there. That was probably the best spell of play we've seen from Switzerland as we head for the midway point of this game, and brilliant defending yet again. Two colossus at the centre of the Irish defence. First from Shane Duffy, then from Richard Keoghan. Darren Randolph got involved as well with that punch clearance from Rodriguez. Cross come shot. So still scoreless here and off the ball.
I just think as well in those moments, when obviously Randolph comes out and he punches it clear, the ball falls to Howard and McLean in between them. It's just somebody then needs to tell one another to take it down, and we can build the attack, whereas James then obviously punts it long and Mcgoldrick is giving chase. But can we take it down? They had a 2v1 there. They could have probably played out a little bit, and obviously we could get McLean on his bike and get him running and start an attack.
Our football coverage brought to you with thanks to Paddy Power. For more information on responsible gambling, visit dunlewy.net. Free kick to Switzerland again. It's been somewhat stop-start, particularly in midfield. The referee's not really allowing any sort of challenges to go through, but still scoreless. And I think by and large Mick McCarthy will be quite happy with what he's seen in the opening 22 and a half minutes of this game, because this is a Swiss side with plenty of pedigree. Remember, they won their group in the top division in the Nations League and destroyed Belgium in one of those games. Saw off Iceland as well. Now Ireland with chance to attack. Hendrick going through the middle, striding forward, lays it off just behind Callum Robinson. McLean wants it played in. It's behind James McLean. Mcgoldrick gets across in front of the defender, tried to take it round inside the area, but just couldn't spin away. Still there. Howerton steps away, a little dummy into Enda Stevens. Again, his control has let him down. It really hasn't happened for Enda Stevens at all this evening. I'm not quite sure what's going on, because it's one of those, you watch him at the weekend for Sheffield United and he couldn't put a foot wrong.
Yeah, no.
And this time it's
exactly
just
at Stamford Bridge. He's been brilliant and he's been superb in that game. And just the odd touch here is just getting away from him, which is disappointing, because he's a huge outlet for Ireland with his driving runs forward, which will obviously create a lot of chances for Ireland.
Seferovic's cross over on the left hand side, deep inside the Irish half, comes off the back of Coleman, so it's out of play for a throw into the Swiss. They go back down along the line. 53106 the text number if you're listening in on News Talk, or do tweet us at Off the Ball if you're anywhere out and around the world. Andrew McCartan, who's listening in on YouTube, who's in Manhattan, hoping for a 1-0 win and maybe Dave Mcgoldrick to break his duck. And what if there's to be an added bonus of tonight, it would be that one of the four strikers in this Ireland squad would get their first international goal. Mcgoldrick and Robinson both still waiting on the pitch. Scott Hogan and James Collins among the substitutes tonight for Ireland. And Keogh steps across as Mbolo tries to get the ball in from the right hand side. It'll be another throw in as we get our first rendition of the Fields of Athenry. A chance for Kevin Mbabu to send this in long potentially, which he does. Pings it in there. Duffy needed to win the header because Seferovic had come away, and then it fell right on the edge of the area for Ricardo Rodriguez. First time volley. That was a big chance. Sliced it though, and it goes to the left and wide.
Yeah, I think he's nearly hit the corner flag, and he should really do better, but they have the long throw there, and obviously Duffy's going to be favoured to win the majority of them, but it's about the second ball. It's not about the first one, because you can't really score off the first one. And obviously we had it clear, so we need to probably just tighten up there on the edge of the box for the ball that falls out.
Just trying to judge how strong the wind is there when you look at Darren Randolph's shorts. Is there a strong wind blowing into that Irish goal?
It does look it, from obviously the movement of the corner flags and what have you, but look, this pitch is very big and it is open from the Lansdowne side, so there will be a little gale blowing down.
Well, I think we expected it to be tight. Generally, Ireland's games over the last year or so have been that. Ireland have only scored 5 in their last 9 as they go back to Randolph again. Richard Keogh had just enough pace on it. Whelan can't get it under control, but Keogh rescues the situation again. Then Whelan fires it out to the right hand side to the chest of Robinson, been tracked over there by Akanyi. Robinson holds on to the ball well and then gives it back to Glenn Whelan, who's just on the halfway line. Popping up over there then is Coleman. They go back again, and Howerhan plays a little ball, and 1-2 with Glenn Whelan, and they'll start at the back with Shane Duffy. Duffy, crossfield pass onto the chest of Enda Stevens, and nice control this time from Stevens, but as he helped it on to McLean, he couldn't get the ball under control, and Switzerland win it back. Mbolo striding through the centre now and hauled down under the challenge of Glenn Whelan, and it's going to be a free kick to Switzerland. I don't think Whelan can have any complaints at all there. It was Fabian Schär, actually, the centre half, who was striding through the heart of the Irish midfield, got to about 25 yards out. His ankle was just clipped by Whelan. Did he get away without a yellow card?
I think he has, yeah. I think Glenn's read the situation from the long ball from Duffy out to Enda, where Enda was probably caught out of position when the ball was turned over with Schär running through the middle. So look, it'll be a good foul if they shoot and it goes wide. Obviously you hope that we don't get punished from it.
So I said it was about 25 yards out. It looked from here, I think Ireland have managed to push it back a couple of yards. It's definitely over 30 yards out. There's a few players standing over it. One of them is Granit Xhaka, and the other one standing over this is Fabian Schär. Also there is Rodriguez. So which of the three? Over 30 yards out, central position. It is Granit Xhaka who gets it over the wall, and it took a deflection as well. Goes to the right and behind for a corner kick. Well, he is dangerous from those set pieces. It was a long way out, but it deflected off an Irish player. I think it was Richard Keogh came off last. So it is another corner kick, which Rodriguez will take. His first delivery was lacking in quality. What can he do this time? A little bit of pushing and shoving in and around Darren Randolph from Mbolo, who's literally standing on the Brayman's toes. And the referee, the Spaniard Carlos Del Caro Grande, steps across. Just have a word with Breel Mbolo. Seamus Coleman's not having any of it, and we wait for this corner kick down to our right to be taken by Switzerland. Again, it's pinged in there towards the back post. Randolph doesn't collect it, but he went to ground, and the referee allowed play to continue, it seems. Well, Randolph went up. It looked as though, as he stretched his arms to the air, a Swiss player barged into him. The referee didn't blow his whistle, though.
I completely agree with you. You look at some of the fouls he's given in midfield and the ones on Mcgoldrick for little nudges. Like, Randolph's gone up to catch that cleanly, and he's been absolute barged. It's a complete and utter foul, but lucky enough, the ball fell. I don't know who it was too, but he's just absolutely shanked it over. So Ireland will have the goal kick.
Almost half an hour gone here at the Aviva Stadium. Still the Republic of Ireland 0, Switzerland 0 in this Euro 2020 qualifier. The Republic of Ireland, remember, top of Group D with 10 points from their opening 4 games. The most important of them, that 1-1 draw in Denmark. Shane Duffy, the man in possession on the edge of his own area, with that late equaliser that could be huge in terms of this group. Of course, Switzerland, remember, were 3-0 up against Denmark with 6 minutes remaining and ended up drawing that match 3-3. So they feel that this is a game that they need to come and try and win. Long ball forward again from Ireland. Haven't really seen Conor Howerhan getting the ball at all yet.
Yeah, I probably agree with you there with the three in midfield. They've not really been able to get on it and kind of dictate or get a feel of the ball, or get a feel of the game. It's kind of it's been a lot of Switzerland, but they're all still defensively very good and we're very organised. It's just you'd like to see them probably getting on it, especially Jeff Hendrick and Conor, to burst forward, to link with Robinson and Mcgoldrick.
You've been in this position in Irish midfields, going up against teams that are technically very good, who are happy in possession, who have a player of the quality of Granit Xhaka there, who's happy to just stroke it around all day. How difficult is it in the heat of battle to grab control of things and play that simple ball?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it comes down to concentration, and I think that's why it's really important that, you spoke earlier about Glenn winning his 88th cap and thinking that his international career could have been over under Martin, but he's there to basically be the vocal point, to kind of conduct the orchestra and get everyone in position and be just telling lads where to go, what to do.
And there was space there for Zakaria, the Swiss midfielder, about 25 yards out. Just opened up all of a sudden, took it on with his right foot, but he just bent it straight into the arms of Darren Randolph. Randolph looks up, thought about throwing it short, but he orders his centre-halves and his defenders away, drops the ball to the ground, and then with his right foot again fires it long, drifting towards this left-hand side. Mcgoldrick gets his head on it. McLean helps it on, but Mcgoldrick had dropped deep, so he wasn't there to take the return pass. Whelan up, scrapping away in there, almost takes Conor Howard out of it, eventually lays it off to McLean, and McLean's pass forward is cut out by Zakaria right in front of that Swiss technical area, where their manager Vladimir Petkovic is standing suited and booted, watching his side. Former Lazio manager who's been in charge of Switzerland since 2014 and has done a good job getting them to the last 16 of the last World Cup. Cross in from Hendrick towards Robinson, well defended back there again by Schär. Robinson was waiting to pounce if he could have just been picked out. Seferovic dropping deep yet again, trying to knock it out to the left hand side to Rodriguez, and Shane Duffy again at full stretch with the sliding challenge wins the ball back for Ireland, and then Switzerland have to resort to a long ball forward, let go over their heads by the two Irish centre halves, and Darren Randolph just passes it forward towards Shane Duffy. It wasn't in the Brighton team at the weekend. New manager Darren Potter, who very much wants to play a different style to Chris Hughton. A lot of people wondering if that will suit Shane Duffy. I know from talking to him, he would be highly insulted if people suggest that he can't play a passing style, as he just plays a lovely little ball to the left hand side there to Callum Robinson, but Robinson had drifted into an offside position. So a little bit of a lull around the Aviva Stadium. It just hasn't come to life fully. We had 2 or 3 minutes here and there for the Republic of Ireland, but they've managed to string together some passes, and that does rouse the crowd.
Well, that's what you need. You need those little moments, where it be a sliding tackle, some, like we said with Callum Robinson at the start, putting pressure on to win a corner. It just lifts the crowd and lifts the atmosphere, and it gets everybody going.
Well, after this, Switzerland will take on Gibraltar at home on Sunday. They would very much expect to win that game, and really you can't afford to slip up in any of those games against Gibraltar or Georgia. Ireland, of course, after this have a friendly against Bulgaria on Tuesday night, but then that huge double header next month where they go to Tbilisi and then 4 days later go to Geneva to take on Switzerland. So those matches away to Georgia and Switzerland will certainly after that have a good idea of where this group stands. A mistake in the middle there, no pressure at all, and Dennis Zakaria right in the centre circle, a simple pass out to the left hand side, but he overhit it. Mcgoldrick full of running.
I'm just looking at the team here, the Irish team. I think we've nearly set up to match them. It looks like Enda Stevens might have dropped in like a left-sided of a 3 with Shane Duffy in the middle and Richard Keoghan out on the right. So Callum Robinson is now joined Mcgoldrick up front, just to match them, because I felt probably the wing backs are getting out.
Oh, chance for Mcgoldrick as he turns on the edge of the D, never connected with his left-footed shot. But as David was describing that sort of change in system for Ireland, you could really see it in full effect there, because Seamus Coleman was miles forward up on the right hand side. They found him. He played a nice ball into the centre, spotted some space in there. It eventually found its way to Mcgoldrick just inside the D, tried a quick fire turn, never connected. Mcgoldrick putting some pressure on the Swiss goalkeeper there, but Sommer was calm on his own goal line and just rolled it to his right hand side to Veddy. Veddy brings it forward, staring down Glenn Whelan. Seferovic hasn't had any sort of sight of goal so far. Haris Seferovic, the Benfica striker, opens up for Rodriguez, 30 yards out. It was an ambitious effort. It was always rising, and it goes flying over Darren Randolph's goal into those Irish supporters down to our right, and Ireland won't mind that at all, forcing Switzerland into those sort of shots.
If you've got someone shooting from 25 to 30 yards, they want to be an incredible strike to obviously beat Randolph from that distance.
35 minutes gone, still scoreless. 53106 the text number, at Off the Ball on Twitter. If you're out and about, you can listen online as well on offtheball.com. It's been a game of half chances really so far. Neither goalkeepers had a save to make. James McLean with the header inside the Swiss half of the field. Now Granit Xhaka, been closed down by Hourahan, manages to get it out to Rodriguez. And Seamus Coleman there alongside Rodriguez, maybe just trying to put him on the back foot, because he's got forward at will at the moment. Oh, a little bit of pressure put on now by Mbolo. Skips past a couple of challenges, gives it to Seferovic, comes to this near side to Mbabu, just on the edge of the Irish area, pulls it back to his captain Xhaka, helps it on first time then to Rodriguez. Jeff Hendrick across the cover, out to the left hand side then where Coleman is trying to defend. Xhaka has Rodriguez in space now. Plenty of Swiss players inside the area. It's crossed in, takes a deflection, and there's a fine save by Darren Randolph, but Dave Meyler called it because the offside flag does go up. It took a wicked deflection off Glenn Whelan.
It is interesting with that because like Glenn has actually blocked the ball, so inevitably Glenn's played it back, so he shouldn't be offside, but he was 3 or 4 yards behind or in front of our defender. So look, it's the change of system's probably just taking a minute or two here in defence to get going. Obviously, as you said, Rodriguez drifted inside and Seamus went with him, which left Jeff Hendrick nearly appearing out in the right wing back situation. But I'd just like to see us probably get on the ball in their half and probably take control of it and just knock it round to have them pin back.
Yeah, that really hasn't happened so far for Ireland to have a sustained spell in the final third. Ireland again choosing there from that goal kick to play it out from the back short. It was, even though the flag was up, a fine save from Darren Randolph at his near post. Now Veddy. McLean closing down quickly there and then Babu, but he managed to get his crossfield ball out to that left hand side where Rodriguez has it. And now Xhaka, 30 yards out, left hand side for Switzerland, cutting across into a more central position. Spots then in Babu in space on this right hand side. Oh, he just left it there for James McLean, who didn't need a second invitation to fly in with the sliding challenge. Babu just took it away from him, but Enda Stevens was behind to clear the ball for Ireland. Throw in taken quickly, and now again it's at the feet of Xhaka. Ireland managed to squeeze them out of it this time as Shar had come forward. Might be out of position if Ireland can come in the counter-attack again. No great desire in the Irish players to push too many men forward when they won the ball back there, but this time they're a bit calmer in possession. But it is all inside their own half. And Shane Duffy fires it out to the right wing to Seamus Coleman. Turned out to be a nice ball. Coleman's touch forward there towards Callum Robinson was a tad short for Robinson, a tad heavy for Coleman, and that allowed the Swiss defender to get in, nick it out of play for a throw into Ireland pretty much on the halfway line, though Coleman, the Irish captain, has stolen a couple of yards over there.
I think Seamus there would be a little bit disappointed with Callum. I think he was trying to give it to him first time to get it set back to inevitably take the two of them out of the game, but Callum might probably thought he was trying to take it down and then work from there.
What's Robinson's best position? Because there's a feeling that maybe actually long term he'll end up in a more central role for Ireland.
Yeah, I think with Callum's the type of player who can beat a man one-on-one, which is probably one of the hardest skills in football. So he's probably played a lot, in his time at Preston, out in the left and right, kind of drifting in between a centre half and a fullback. So look, I think once he gets the basis of a striker and running in behind, I think he'll be very good for Ireland.
Now here is Fabian Schär stepping forward. All three of the Swiss centre halves aren't afraid to come into the Irish half. He's come right into it now, lays it off to Mbabu. Mbabu's cross comes off the shoulder of McLean on the edge of the area. He'll have another chance with his left foot, doesn't get it past Hourahan this time, cleared up towards the halfway line, but not too many green jerseys up there putting any pressure on, so it was quite easy in the end for Veddy, and he plays a nice little ball then through to Mbolo, but Glenn Whelan tracked that well, gets it forward for Ireland out of their own half, and a chance for Robinson to put some pressure on, which he does. Mcgoldrick is strong in the challenge, but then just tracking back at the right time was Schär, but the referee is going to decide to go back for a foul on Callum Robinson, and between the two of them, the two Sheffield United men, Mcgoldrick and Robinson, they made enough of a nuisance of themselves to force the Swiss to give away a free kick. Granit Xhaka can't quite believe it. He's in the referee's face. It doesn't really matter though, because the end result is a free kick to Ireland in a dangerous position. It's 30 yards out. It's almost in line with the left edge of the penalty area, and it'll be a chance for Conor Hourahan, who has taken over the mantle of set-piece specialist from Robbie Brady over the last few months.
I couldn't believe that, even having played with the both and whatever, that Conor the last day at home was telling Robbie, no, I'll take it, whatever. But Conor and Robbie both have excellent deliveries, and obviously Conor scored that free kick that night against Georgia, so I think he's in credit. But this is a huge opportunity.
The free kick is about 30 yards out. Switzerland holding a high line though, almost on the edge of the D. Ireland with Shane Duffy towards the back post. Does he just float it up, or do you absolutely smack it in there?
I think for someone like Duffy, yeah, he's just lifted it up.
He's just lifted it up there, and it was just a yard in front of Dave Mcgoldrick, and maybe Jeff Hendrick has held his run just ever so slightly, and it means that it comes to nothing. The ball goes out of play for a goal kick, which they take very, very quickly, Switzerland. And Granit Xhaka comes forward over on the left hand side to Rodriguez, tries to play it through quickly towards Seferovic, but Duffy had managed to get back and now it's Conor Howrahan who spotted a green jersey in front of him. Unfortunately, it was a green jersey of Mcgoldrick coming back from an offside position. He had to let it run, and then quickly out of his goal is Jan Sommer for Switzerland, who smashes it from one penalty area to another, and Darren Randolph has it back. 4 minutes to go until half time here on Off the Ball. It hasn't exactly been a classic, but Ireland have been very steady, certainly at the back, haven't given up too many opportunities. At the moment, you'd say two very evenly matched sides.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Ireland probably had the best chance with McLean. Possession stats probably suggest Switzerland are ahead. But I think we're well in this game, and I think if we can get to half time like this, or even better if we could nick one. But some, like I said, look, some better passing.
Oh, better now, yeah, from Howrahan, who sets McLean free. First real chance to stretch his legs inside the Swiss half. Brings it towards the edge of the area. Just gets caught up in his feet, surrounded by 3 Switzerland players, and he loses possession. And that's going to be so frustrating, because the first real chance he had to do some damage down that left wing, and Switzerland come away with Seferovic, who's drift out to this right-hand side. Now Xhaka. We haven't seen do any real damage inside the Irish half of the pitch at all so far. And Rodriguez then. And they're in no great rush to do anything, Switzerland. Maybe they have come here thinking, you know what, a point away from home is a good result, and we'll fancy our chances in Geneva next week for the home clash.
Next month,
I should say. Don't know what I'm doing in Geneva next week. It'll be a bit awkward. Slowly but surely, holding on to possession of the Swiss. And now Freuler lays it off to Rodriguez. And Bolo's drifted over there as well. And Ricardo Rodriguez been put under pressure now by Seamus Coleman, just trying to nick the ball away from him. Mcgoldrick gets involved. They do take the ball away from Rodriguez, but it runs into the path of another Switzerland player, and Remo Freuler then helps it on. Veddy. They do like to get forward, these Swiss centre halves. You would think that maybe there is an opportunity for Ireland on the counter-attack if they can dispossess them at the right time. Xhaka. Quicker ball this time now to the feet of Rodriguez. He pings the cross in there, and that's a brave header by Shane Duffy, who goes to ground, diving in just on the edge of his own 6-yard box. Gets there ahead of Mbolo. Powerful header as well. And he just loves putting his body on the line when he's got that green jersey on.
Well, he's an old school defender who likes to defend. Do you know, a great turnover possession here.
It was Mcgoldrick on to Coleman. Coleman just flicks it out to the right hand side to Mcgoldrick. He's a little bit isolated out there, but he skips past one challenge. Mcgoldrick into the area, pings it across towards Robinson. He had to take it on himself, Dave Mcgoldrick. He was too unselfish, because it was a wonderful bit of skill. First linking up with Coleman, he just flew past the Swiss defender, cutting in from the right hand side, got a shoot, tried to play it across the 6-yard box towards Robinson. There was way too much pace on it, and it went out of play.
Oh, it's a huge, look, we're 44 minutes on the clock here. That's a huge opportunity. Mcgoldrick has done everything right, and even it's just a weight of the pass. He's done the right thing. From his angle on his right foot, it's probably a difficult chance to score, and you have Callum inside and McLean inside for a tap in. He's just overhit the pass, which is hugely disappointing, because he's done absolutely everything right.
Yeah, that you would say is most definitely the best chance of this game for either side in the final minute of this first half. And Dave Mcgoldrick did everything right. Got back, worked hard himself, and Coleman worked it forward. Coleman picked out the right pass. You do just wonder, with Dave Mcgoldrick, was there a bit of the weight of still looking for that first goal in the Ireland jersey? Could he be more selfish? And he's certainly with the pass, but it needed to be perfectly weighted for Callum Robinson, who would have had a tap in if it was the perfect pass.
Well, I think that comes back to probably your natural prolific goal scorer. If that was Robbie Keane, he's never passing that ball. You know, that's just the way Robbie is. Robbie wants to score, and you'd back him every day of the week to score. So it's like Mcgoldrick, who's played it as a 10 naturally for, in his time with Ipswich, even at Sheffield United. I know he did score a lot last year in the Championship, but he's probably looking to just put it on a plate for Callum to tap in to get his first international goal, but he's just overhit the pass.
So we're into first half injury time. Ireland finishing on the front foot. Glenn Whelan has Coleman in space on the right hand side. Coleman sends the ball into the area. Howran's there. McLean at the back post as well, and McLean threw himself up into the air, and he's managed to force a corner right at the end of this first half, and the biggest cheer of this first half comes for that corner kick. McLean was just a bit awkward. He just sort of threw his body there for that header, almost took Conor Howrahan out of it, but the end result is that corner kick as Switzerland desperately cleared. It's down this left-hand side, in front of the Swiss supporters. It'll be taken by Conor Howard. This is probably the last play of this first half. Howard's corner kick, no great pace, not headed clear particularly well. Whelan throws his head on it on the edge of the area, and Switzerland look to break. There goes the half-time whistle here at the Aviva Stadium. The Republic of Ireland 0, Switzerland 0. David Meyler's been watching alongside me here and off the ball. Sum it up.
Well, look, I think Ireland have been very good defensively. Switzerland have been able to build up quite well into our half, and we've kind of stayed compact, stayed in our formation. It's just what I'd like to see in the second half is Ireland probably knocking the ball around, and the centre halves bringing that out, so we could probably get Jeff Hendrick and Conor Howard higher up to create space and obviously create more chances to score goals.
The criticism will be the same old criticism. We're at home. Do we need to take more risks? Do we need to play more on the front foot? And can we do that?
Yes, we can do that, but do we need to do that? No, we've created the two best chances of the game from playing. Yes, they've been counter-attack football in the sense that we've turned over possession and we've broke, fast. But we're in the game. Switzerland have come here needing to win. They need to beat us. Do you know what I mean? The way the first half has gone, it's gone very well. We're still in the game. And like I said, we've had the two best chances. Mcgoldrick should pick out Robinson. It should be a goal. I just hope it doesn't come back to bite us.
All right, so that was the biggest chance of the first half here at the Aviva Stadium. Right at the very end, David Mcgoldrick, a little bit unselfish, and just couldn't pick out his Sheffield United teammate Callum Robinson. So at half-time here at the Aviva Stadium, it is the Republic of Ireland 0, Switzerland 0. Plenty more to come from David Meyler, analysis as well from Joe. But first, we'll take a very quick break.
Off the ball on News Talk.
Everyone here in Ireland, I'm sure, waiting with bated breath to see what exactly happens next and how it impacts us.
We're leaving on the 31st of October, no ifs or buts.
I've been following politics, I've been writing about politics for 20 years now. I have never seen anything like what happened yesterday in the UK.
I've never known anything like it.
I've never known anything like it.
I've known nothing like this.
We thought we couldn't be in more unknown territory, but we are.
It's dramatic.
Order!
It's entertaining.
No deal.
It's completely beyond parody.
We should be under no illusion that what is in Ireland's best interest here is for Boris to go under a bus, and the sooner the better.
How likely is that scenario? Is it possible, number one, and then likely, number two?
I don't want an election. The public don't want an election. I don't believe the right honourable gentleman wants an election.
Stay ahead of the story with News Talk.
I'll tell you exactly what is going to happen, Kieran. No, who am I kidding? I haven't got a clue.
Hot pink, green velvet, turquoise, teal. There are so many colours and styles to choose from at the Easy Living Interiors sofa event. Gorgeous leather, fabric and velvet sofas, sumptuous armchairs, a stunning range of accent chairs to add a pop of colour. All reduced and almost everything in stock, so all you have to do is sit back and relax. The sofa event now on at Easy Living Interiors. Cork, Waterford, Navan, Naas, Sandyford, Drogheda and now open in Wexford.
What on earth is that racket in the kitchen?
The drummer you asked me to get! Oh yeah! He's great, isn't he?
A plumber! I asked you to get a plumber!
Should have gone to Specsavers for €400 off selected hearing aids. Offer ends 30th of September 2019. Ask in store for details.
The Motorsport Show, RDS Sales Court Dublin. A must-attend event for all motorsport fans, experts, collectors and car enthusiasts. Featuring performance cars, rally cars, drifters, Formula 1 simulator, live runway and much more. Saturday 23rd and Sunday 24th November. Tickets from €55 on sale now. Additional charges may apply. For more, see themotorsportshow.com.
Proudly supported by Off the Ball.
When you get a new home, or even one that's not so new anymore, it can be hard to know where to start to make it your own. Maybe with those horrific tiles in the downstairs bathroom, or that trippy carpet in the upstairs bathroom, the one the previous owners put down before you were even born. Yep, bathroom carpet. Whatever your plans, when it comes to your first home, start by talking to the Ulster Bank mortgage team to see how we could help. Talk to us today. Ulster Bank. Help for what matters. Over 18s and residential mortgages only. Ulster Bank Ireland DAC is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Since 1927, ESB has been working towards a brighter future for all. Today, that means finding new ways to use clean electricity in our everyday lives. And because electric vehicles are 3 times more efficient and improve the quality of the air we breathe, it's definitely worth thinking about. Be part of a brighter future. Find out more at esb.ie.
Our kids are so busy rushing about. Trying to get them to eat a healthy, balanced diet can be a challenge. Bye.
Bye, Mum. Bye, Dad.
To give us a little extra support, we like to top them up with Halabarnd, Ireland's #1 kids vitamin brand. It's rich in vitamin D to help support bones, healthy teeth and the function of the immune system.
And Halabarnd is recommended by 9 out of 10 parents according to Home Tester Club research.
Halabarnd Kids Vitamins supports your kids' growth and development. Try Halabarnd today. Your kids will love it. Vitamin D supports normal growth and development of bones in children.
After a great start to the Euro 2020 qualifiers, the Republic of Ireland look to continue their 100% home record as they take on Switzerland on Thursday, September 5th at Aviva Stadium. Then on Tuesday, September 10th, we go again at Aviva for the 3 international friendly versus Bulgaria. Kick-off for both games 7:45. Show your support for the boys in green this September. Tickets on sale now starting at €20 from fai.ie/tickets. Booking fee applies.
Switch and save at Carphone Warehouse. Save up to €189 on exclusive deals with 3 you won't find anywhere else. Get the Samsung Galaxy S10e or the Huawei P30 with a smartwatch GT for free. Yes, free. Both are available on a €45 a month plan with 3. With all-you-can-eat data, but only when you switch at Carphone Warehouse. Or upgrade to next level power with the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. Available to order now. T's and C's apply. Offer subject to availability and 24-month contract.
If you can't get to Japan, create the stadium atmosphere in your home with Harvey Norman. We have a huge range, low prices and interest-free finance terms available. Get the Panasonic 65-inch premium 4K TV for $1,499 or just €45 a month. Or the Sony 55-inch 4K Android TV for $999 or just €86 a month. Get TV ready at Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
Terms and conditions apply subject to assessment. Finance provided by Flexify Europe Limited. For full terms and conditions visit harveynorman.ie/finance.
On September 17th, the Aviva Stadium plays host to the 1-0 Sports Business Conference. Experience the off-the-field future of the sports industry with the NFL, Microsoft, Nike and Formula One. 4 stages, 40 international speakers, world-leading brands. Tickets are available at 1-0.com.
Have a great evening with itsforwomen.ie. Great value car insurance on the web, on demand, on the go. Itsforwomen.ie. It's always on hand. It's always online.
Off the ball. This is News Talk.
Mcgoldrick onto Coleman. Coleman just flicks it out to the right-hand side to Mcgoldrick. He's a little bit isolated out there, but he skips past one challenge. Mcgoldrick into the area, pings it across towards Robinson. He had to take it on himself, Dave Mcgoldrick. He was too unselfish because it was a wonderful bit of skill. First linking up with Coleman, he just flew past the Swiss defender, cutting in from the right-hand side. Got a shoot, tried to play it across the 6-yard box towards Robinson. There was way too much pace on it and it went out of play.
There we are. That was the best chance of the match. Maybe not just Ireland's best chance, although the Swiss have come close. A few last gasp hooks and headers and intercepts. They've been threatening. David Meyler has watched that first half. He'll be along for the second, obviously. How would you sum things up for someone just tuning in now? It's been a lively game, good game.
Yeah, no, I think what I would like to see Ireland do is probably be a little bit more in control in the Switzerland half. At the back we're knocking it around and we're getting out the other side. It's just when we bridge that gap into attack, we need to probably just string together 6 or 7 more passes to be in more control. The 2 chances we've created through McLean and, like you said there, Mcgoldrick, have been kind of counter-attacks where we've turned over possession, we've broke quickly. Now obviously the Mcgoldrick chance has been the chance of the game. He'll be very disappointed himself. It's a huge opportunity to score. He's obviously fired the ball across the column, he's overhit it. If he picks him out, it's 1-0 and we go into half-time, and look, the conversations are totally different. But overall, for the first 45, you've got to be happy. Switzerland are a good team.
They're dangerous, aren't they?
Yeah, they've knocked the ball around well. They've been in good control. Like I said, what I would like to see Ireland do, Switzerland done very well with it. Knocked it around in Ireland's half. Now, it's half time. We've got 45 to go. If it stays like this for another 45, then brilliant, because Switzerland need to win more than us. But if we get another couple of chances like we did, we have to take one, because Switzerland get a chance like that, I believe they will take it.
Okay, half time. Back with the second half. 0-0 here at the Aviva Stadium.
Off the Ball on News Talk.
The 2019 Boyle Sports World Grand Prix Darts is back at the City West Convention Centre, Dublin, from the 6th to the 12th of October. See 32 of the biggest darting stars on the planet, including world number 1 Michael van Gerwen, former Grand Prix champion Darrell Gurney, plus fan favourite Peter Wright. Get your tickets now at ticketmaster.ie and search darts. The 2019 Boyle Sports World Grand Prix Darts at City West. Game on.
If you can't get to Japan, create the stadium atmosphere in your home with Harvey Norman. We have a huge range, low prices and interest-free finance terms available. Get the Panasonic 65-inch premium 4K TV for €1,499 or just €45 a month. Or the Sony 55-inch 4K Android TV for €999 or just €86 a month. Get TV ready at Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
Terms and conditions apply, subject to assessment. Finance provided by Flexify Europe Limited. For full terms and conditions, visit harveynorman.ie/finance.
I hear you some wiring needs a fixing, ma'am. The name's Buzz, on account of my work.
No chance.
Not all cowboys ride horses. All Safe Electric registered electrical contractors must give you a certificate of completion that shows their work meets approved standards. Find one nearby on safeelectric.ie.
What is Autumn's soundtrack? It doesn't bang. It's soft and wistful. It's all about change and moving on, and it's beautiful. But even in autumn, some things don't change. Irish emergency and hospital services need a stable, regular supply of blood throughout the year. Unfortunately, the rate of donation often falls as we focus on the changes from our summer to autumn routines. We know the changing rhythm of your days is keeping you busy, but we know we can count on you. So please make the time to visit your clinic this autumn. Go to giveblood.ie, where every one counts.
HPV is a really common virus that can cause cancer in women and in men.
The HPV vaccine protects young people from getting the HPV virus when they grow up.
And it's now available to both boys and girls in first year of secondary school.
Thing is, the more young people that get the vaccine,
the more young people will be protected from HPV cancers.
Get the facts on hpv.ie, approved by the World Health Organization.
Get the facts, get the vaccine.
Protect our future.
From the HSE.
Hi, Clelia Murphy here, and I just wanted to let you know that Ireland's biggest coffee morning for hospice together with Bewley's takes place on Thursday, September 19th. Please support your local hospice and the vital work they do in your community by hosting a coffee morning. Visit hospicecoffeemorning.ie or call 1890 998 995. And remember, every cup counts.
Football Index, the football stock market.
Remember that first time on the terraces, where it all began. The heroes, the villains, the highs, the lows. All the while, you were learning. Now use that knowledge on Football Index. Join tens of thousands of fans trading the world's top players. Football Index, the game changed. App available, 18+, terms and conditions apply, gamble responsibly.
Hot pink, green velvet, turquoise, teal. There are so many colours and styles to choose from at the Easy Living Interiors sofa event. Gorgeous leather, fabric and velvet sofas, sumptuous armchairs, a stunning range of accent chairs to add a pop of colour. All reduced and almost everything in stock, so all you have to do is sit back and relax. The sofa event now on at Easy Living Interiors. Cork, Waterford, Navan, Naas, Sandyford, Drogheda and now open in Wexford.
The Motorsport Show, RDS Seamus Court Dublin. A must-attend event for all motorsport fans, experts, collectors and car enthusiasts. Featuring performance cars, rally cars, drifters, Formula 1 simulator, live runway and much, much more. Saturday 23rd and Sunday 24th November. Tickets from €55 on sale now. Additional charges may apply. For more, see themotorsportshow.com.
Proudly supported by Off the Ball.
Renting your property? You need a letting agent who doesn't just do the paperwork. Sherry Fitzgerald Lettings look after it all. From gathering references to taking care of repairs and maintenance. From getting the right tenants to checking in with them. It's the letting service that lets you live. Find out more at sherryfitzlettings.ie. Sherry Fitzgerald. It's not just about property. It's about people.
Off the Ball. This is News Talk.
Welcome back. So, Aviva Stadium, second half about to get underway. 0-0, the Republic of Ireland against the Swiss. 0-0 elsewhere in Ireland's group. Denmark 2-0 up against Gibraltar. Let's get back over to our commentary teams. David Meyler is alongside Nathan Murphy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Joe. Two teams back on the pitch. Doesn't look like there's any changes for either side here at the Aviva Stadium. It is scoreless if you're just joining us between the Republic of Ireland and Switzerland. At half-time, we had David Ford out on the pitch. One of the changes I think that the FAI are trying to implement and just maybe liven things up a little bit is bring back former players, get the crowd to acknowledge them. David Ford was the first one out there. Who's going to be next, though, I wonder? I hope it's someone big. I hope it's one of the superstars of the past that they get out there on Tuesday night. Who do you think it might be, David Meyler?
I don't know yet. It might be myself.
You're up on Tuesday?
I'm due to be out.
That'd be great.
Yeah, no, it will be. Look, it was a lovely touch for Ireland to reach out to me and say, look, they would like me to come back and come out, obviously, with my retirement happening last week. So,
have you thought about a speech for half-time yet?
No.
You should.
I think everything with me is more off the cuff. I think you can over-plan all these things, and I think once the question comes to you, you answer the question accordingly.
All right, well, that's how we've very much gone with this evening. You're doing well. 53106, the text number, at Off the Ball on Twitter. David Meyler is alongside me, and we are back underway. Ireland in green jerseys, white shorts, white socks, attacking down to our right-hand side, and on the attack now, cross into the area. Oh, again, it's just a yard in front of Dave Mcgoldrick. It was Enda Stevens' ball from that left-hand side. It was a decent delivery. Howrahan was arriving in at speed as well. Neither of them could get there, but Ireland starting this second half as they finish the first. As I said, no changes for either side. So the Irish team, Randolph in goals, a back four of Coleman, Duffy, Keogh and Stevens. Stevens, the only Irish player booked in that first half. In midfield, it's Whelan, Hendrick and Howrahan. Robinson on the right, McLean on the left, and Dave Mcgoldrick playing through the middle. Lovely weaving run through the middle there by Seamus Coleman as he drifts out to the left-hand side to Stevens. Picks a little pass along the ground towards Jeff Hendrick. Hendrick just can't squeeze it back to Coleman. And Switzerland will try and break on the counter-attack. Xhaka, though, can't slide it through to Mbolo, and Shane Duffy nicks the ball away and decides, hey, you know what, I'm going to be a centre half for the next couple of minutes. Hendrick rolls it along the ground. Lovely ball to Conor Howrahan. That's better now from the Irish midfield as it comes to this near side to Robinson. Duffy has remained forward. Robinson to the edge of the area. Sends it towards the back post. He's overhit it, though, past all four Irish players inside the area. McLean was the furthest player back on that left-hand side. Shane Duffy is not happy that he's made that run forward, and he didn't get the pass to the near post from Callum Robinson.
It's interesting to see there again, like just coming into the second half, we've actually switched back to the four. James has pushed higher with Callum. Maybe the emphasis that with the chances we created, that the manager has felt that this is the way we can go forward.
The excitement is because Switzerland are playing it around inside their own 6-yard box. Sommer looks very calm and comfortable when the ball is at his feet there, but Ireland and James McLean put some pressure on. The Swiss clearance came off McLean. It's a throw in deep inside the Swiss half. They're going to try and play it out from the back yet again. The Switzerland team is their goalkeeper. I mentioned them there, Jan Sommer. A back three of Veddy, Schär and Akanyi. Mbabu and Rodriguez are the wing backs, Zakaria and Xhaka in the middle, and then Fruler playing just behind Mbolo and Seferovic. Switzerland have not tested Darren Randolph in the Irish goal at all, really, in this game so far, with 48 minutes gone here and Off the Ball. Still scoreless. 53106, the text number, and as always on international nights, we say if you're listening in online anywhere in the world, do get in touch and we'll give you a shout out as Ireland play some nice football again to this right hand side. Coleman forward to Robinson, back to his captain again. Coleman trying to take on Rodriguez. Good sliding challenge though by the Swiss left back, and he wins the ball back for the visitors, and Duffy had to make that challenge there to step out and cross in front of Mbolo, and he times it right and just puts it out for the throw in, which they take quickly. Here is Granit Xhaka. Certainly signs from Ireland in the second half, very early stages, but they are getting that midfield three involved a bit more in the ball.
Yeah, don't know 100%. They've definitely started on the front foot, probably as like you said, that you know they've taken the confidence they've gained from those chances there that with Mcgoldrick at the end of the first half into the second half. But now can we just try and turn one or two of them into a goal?
Veddy again allowed to come forward into the Irish half, the centre back, as he played that along the ground towards Mbolo. It was an overhit pass, and it's back in the arms of the Irish goalkeeper Darren Randolph. Haven't really seen Mbolo's pace so far. He's A player with a lot of potential, just 22 years of age. Started the season well for Borussia Mönchengladbach. 2 goals in his opening 3 matches. As Mcgoldrick wins a header, flicks it on towards McLean. McLean just hadn't made the run though, and it's gone from one goalkeeper to the other. Now Fabian Schär. It's the sort of game you feel it needs a goal, because then one team is really going to have to chase. It could open right up. Either side really going to take the risk.
Like I said to you there, with them playing the wing backs there, when Enda steps out, if Mbabu is able to get the ball out of his feet quick enough, he pops it, Enda's out of the game.
And again, it's Schär who's brought the ball forward 40, 50 yards, right through the heart of that Irish midfield. He got the shot off, this time right-footed, slices it high to the right and wide. But that's 2 or 3 times now we've seen Fabian Schär not short in confidence to bring it forward from the back, and the Irish defenders and midfielders almost expecting him, I guess, to lay it off, and it doesn't happen.
Well, there's this famous saying in football that if the defender was any good with passing the ball or shooting, he'd be playing in midfield. So I think the Irish midfield would be happier with him bringing the ball forward than Granit Xhaka, who can pick a pass and obviously has a lovely left foot. So I wouldn't worry too much about it, because he is still shooting from 25-30 yards out, and it's going to take, like I said a while ago, it's going to take an incredible strike to beat Randolph.
He does have 7 goals at international football. This is 51st cap. That famous saying, you should tell the Irish defenders that?
Oh yeah, I'd be quick to tell Duffy there, who got a little bit excited after he won a ball and he started drifting, and then he's played it out wide and he sprinted out to the box.
Loose challenge from Rodriguez there on Conor Hourihane. Hourihane, who was so impressive. All right, the opposition was Gibraltar, but he was the one that really took the game by the scruff of the neck in the last qualifier. Hasn't quite had the same impact so far. Obviously a very different calibre of opposition here, as Ireland have this free kick about 10 yards inside the Swiss half and about 5 yards in from the right hand touchline. They're in, again, no great rush to take this, as they're deciding whether or not to send the centre halves up forward, and well, they don't need a second invitation, I don't think, Shane Duffy and Richard Keogh, so they have come forward. Switzerland going to hold that line right on the edge of the D. And what can Conor Hourihane conjure up now? Well, they decide to go short. He's offside though, but it's going to be okay for Ireland, because he's going to bring it back, the referee, Mr.
It'll be interesting to see.
Grande.
It'll be interesting to see if he goes short here to Seamus, because they do have a 2v1 here.
No, he doesn't. He swings it into the box towards David Mcgoldrick, just over his head. Not fully cleared yet by the Swiss. The ball bouncing around some of the heads inside the area. Robinson trying to take control. Hendrick on the edge of the D, goes past one challenge, can't get past the second, and now they've got a one-on-one break here. It's Mbolo taking on. Stevens is backpedaling. Mbolo towards the edge of the Irish area, has the option. Oh, Stevens just isn't up. Still there though for Switzerland as they glide the pass through there from Freuler towards Mbolo. He just lost his balance though. Ireland got men back, but that is the sort of damage that Switzerland can do on the counter-attack, and maybe Breel Mbolo, much like Dave Mcgoldrick for Ireland in the first half, should have been a little bit more selfish, because he had Enda Stevens backpedaling. Remember, Stevens on a yellow card, didn't take him on, and the pass just didn't come off, and the attack broke down. Here he is again though, Mbolo on the edge of the D, sliding challenge, comes to Seferovic, takes a shot right-footed, trying to sweep it into the far cornered net. Never got a connection though, and again it goes harmlessly wide.
No, I think if you look back at Enda Stevens there, that's incredible defending. It kind of it brings a flashback to my memory, if you remember Van Dijk with Tottenham when they break forward, and Heung-min Son and Sissoko. He waited the moment, and Mbolo inevitably got cold feet and overran it, and Enda was able to make a great tackle.
It's quite a compliment.
No, it was very good defending. He read the situation, he waited his time, and inevitably he tried to get Ireland back, to get players back. He slowed the attacker down.
Yeah, it was smashing defending from Enda Stevens, who found himself isolated there against Mbolo. Didn't overly commit and forced the young Swiss attacker to make the mistake. The Aviva Stadium rises to its feet. They're standing up for the boys in green. Can the players on the pitch respond? 53 minutes gone here and off the ball. Still Ireland 0, Switzerland 0. The second half, certainly these opening stages, more open than the vast majority of the first. Rodriguez and Coleman battling away just down in front of us and in front of the two managers. Switzerland will start again at the back with a Kanye, and he always likes to turn back and give the ball to his goalkeeper, Jan Sommer. We have seen a few times now Ireland maybe struggling just through the middle when Switzerland do run at them. Veddy, and he gives it to Veddy and Shar. Shar rolls it forward then to Fruler. Starting to see a little bit more of him in this second half. And now it's Mbolo drifting out to the right hand side, manages to get it to Mbabu, closed down quickly by James McLean, who steals the ball away from him. Mbabu then took it back off McLean, and McLean wrestled him to the ground, gives away the free kick in front of the assistant referee. And he can complain all he wants, and he'd done the hard part. He got the ball back.
He's done brilliantly well to get back, slow him down, win the ball. Obviously then Mbabu gets a little touch, but there's no need to foul him. Just stay on your feet, don't give away a foul, because now, you know, Switzerland are in a dangerous position. You know, I think it's Granit Xhaka's over on the ball. It's going to be like, it's giving Switzerland a great opportunity to score.
Yeah, it's almost like a corner kick there. It's just about 5 yards in from the angle on the far side of the pitch. It is Granit Xhaka to take this free kick for Switzerland. Again, there's a little bit of pushing and shoving and niggle that the referee's not happy about, with Seferovic trying to make that run to the near post. It's over his head and it comes off a Swiss head just about 3-4 yards out, but maybe it was in fact a last ditch touch from Richard Kyo, who was putting some real pressure on there. All this happened only 3-4 yards from the goal line. The ball went up high above the goal and out of play for a corner kick, almost in the same spot from where the free kick was taken. But that was a good delivery from Xhaka. He's going to take this one. He goes short this time though to Rodriguez. Xhaka sends it in towards the 6-yard box. David Mcgoldrick gets his head on it to the edge of the area.
It's a handball.
Still there, and appeals for a handball, and it is a handball on the edge of the Irish penalty area as they just look to control it forward there from Fruler.
I think that was actually one of the set pieces they've worked on. If you look at Xhaka went short to the man on the edge of the box, led it back to him. I think it was Mbolo spun around the back to try and I don't think Xhaka put enough on it, but he was certainly free at the back post if he was able to pick him out.
Ireland are going to make a change. Alan Judge is going to come on in the next couple of moments. Well, you remember in Copenhagen back in June, Alan Judge came off the bench and made a huge impact that night, both good and bad for him, and very much involved in that equaliser by Shane Duffy, but then suffered a really nasty arm injury which forced him off. But he is back and he's about to come on as we head towards the hour mark. Go to space at the back post. Chance here for Switzerland, but again Richard Kill, who's having a, I'm going to say, Shane Duffy-esque performance, because he's absolutely everywhere at the start of this second half, but just signs in the last few minutes that Switzerland are gaining more dominance. Mbolo cutting in from the left hand side, taken away from him though by Coleman and Robinson. Coleman just can't get it clear though. He runs out of space, and Switzerland have it back again with a Kanye. Now Xhaka spots the run down the left hand side of Rodriguez, shadowed by Coleman, drills it in low, takes a couple of deflections, and eventually Glenn Whelan can hook it clear. But it's just wave after wave of Swiss attack now. It's looking ominous for Ireland at the moment. They just need to get the ball back and get a little bit of a breather. Rodriguez on the left hand side again. The delivery, there's no great quality to it, and that's the one thing you would say about the Swiss team so far. For all their possession, they've lacked a good bit of quality as well inside the final third.
I think this will be an interesting substitution as well. Like, Judge is full of work rate, and he'll obviously give Seamus that added cover, because Ireland have switched back to the back four rather than staying with the five with the wing backs, so that Seamus can go up against Rodriguez, Enda can go up against Babu, because they inevitably are the two outlets for the two of them. So they're getting into good positions. Like that ball across is like which fell to Babu. If he picks someone out, it's probably a goal.
All right, so Alan Judge, who made his competitive debut in that game against Denmark when he set up Shane Duffy's goal, is on for this final 32 minutes of this game. Switzerland, though, in the ascendancy at the moment, certainly in terms of possession, and seeing more and more of that possession inside the Irish half. Still scoreless though as it comes to Rodriguez again on this left hand side. Not doing too much defensive work at the moment. Xhaka manages to pick out a pass in a pocket of space for Seferovic. His shot is blocked down though by Kyo. They recycle the ball again, Switzerland. Spot a run of Rodriguez at the back post. He manages to get his head on it, pulls it back, and back in there this time is Glenn Whelan with an important intervention. Heads it out of play down to this Swiss left hand side. It'll go out for a throw in. It was very nearly a corner kick, but it bounced this side of the corner flag, so it will be a throw in. And the Swiss supporters, a couple of thousand of them there behind Darren Randolph's goal just to the left, give it something to shout about. A ambitious effort yet again from Fabian Schär, who doesn't lack confidence for all you say as a centre half. He fancies himself.
Well, he
30 yards
does.
out, that was a nothing shot.
I think 30 plus VAT. I think he was about 40 yards out. Is that Richard Kyo is down there? He's holding his knee on the television.
Yeah, Shane Duffy instantly ordering the physios to come on and just see what's up with with Richard Keogh. Well, they don't need anything to happen right now. As we've said, John Egan's having a fine season, but Keogh and Duffy seem to have a real understanding there. And well, listen, Ireland, when they're giving up this sort of possession, they need defenders who are willing to put their bodies on the line, and we just see that again and again. All right, I'm sure people will question them maybe when the ball's at their feet at times, but they're not afraid to be a bit of a battering ram in there. And I think they're just saying, hold on, no need for a change.
It might even
yet.
It might even be a case of Richard's obviously taking a slight little knock. He's getting a little breather,
bit of experience.
But also, it also just leaves Ireland settled down, because Switzerland have probably the last 5 to 6 minutes picked up a little momentum going forward and being able to fire some balls into the box. So this little pause in play might help Ireland.
Wayne and Brian are listening in Grenchen in Switzerland. We're watching on Swiss TV on mute, tuned into the Off the Ball commentary tonight. Ask David Meyler, who's his closest friend on the Irish team?
My closest friend would probably, I'd have to say friends. Well, Seamus Coleman, I played under 21 and I played like senior with them. James McLean, I played club level and obviously with Ireland. So, but then I've got the Cork lads of Kevin Long, Conor Howlin, John Egan. We're all very close.
Which is a very friendly man.
Yeah, I get on with everyone, unless you cross me, and then I'm done.
Well, Cork midfielders on off the ball. It only ends one way.
Might be a Cork thing.
So who don't you like in the Irish team? That is what we should be asking. We'll wait a couple of years, let you ease yourself into this commentary lark, and then we'll get the good stuff. Don't give it all out in the first night.
No.
All right, we're back underway. Richard Keogh is perfectly fine to continue. 61 minutes gone, still scoreless. Xhaka looks up, surveys what's in front of him, drills the ball over to the right hand side, spotted the run of Mbabu, but well tracked by Enda Stevens, who's certainly grown into the game after maybe a shaky opening quarter of an hour. McLean fires it forward, and Ireland just can't make it stick at the moment. When they do manage to make those defensive clearances, the midfield's been bypassed. Mcgoldrick is trying his best, but they're pretty much impossible balls for him to deal with. Shar now.
That's the one there now.
As McLean puts some pressure on, almost managed to nick the ball away from Fruler, but they have it again. Now, Zakaria on the right hand side of the area. Mbolo turns back to Zakaria, drills it through to Seferovic. Lovely football. Mbolo with the shot, and he slips at the crucial moment. Fortunately for the Republic of Ireland, that was the best piece of play Switzerland had put together around the Irish area. Some quick fire balls. Seferovic released Mbolo just 7-8 yards out on the right hand side, and as he looked to take the shot, he lost his footing, and the chance goes a begging for the Swiss.
Oh, it's a good thing for Ireland he's worn the wrong boots tonight, because he's probably 5, 6, 7 yards out. You think he has to score, and he's on his backside. He slips over, and it's a goal kick to Ireland. So happy days for us.
Ireland just need to try and find some sort of a foothold in this game. They need a little bit of possession. Maybe they'll get it now. Enda Stevens been forced backwards, needs to be careful now. Has Zakaria over there on that Irish left hand side, finds Richard Keogh, who just plays it straight over the head of James McLean, and it's back with the Swiss again. Well, Ireland started this second half quite well. First 7-8 minutes, good tempo to it, but it's been all Switzerland for the last 10 minutes, and they're starting to create some chances. Mbolo cutting in from the right hand side, has Seferovic, brings it to the end line, dinks it to the back post, and Alan Judge had tracked back and heads it clear behind from 2 yards out. Could easily have turned it into his own net, because Rodriguez was waiting to pounce. First time we've seen that pace of Mbolo getting in behind the Irish back four, brought it to the end line, didn't take the short pass to Seferovic, spotted the run of Rodriguez, but Alan Judge tracked him every step of the way, and that is huge from Judge. It is a corner kick though, so the opportunity isn't gone just yet for the Swiss. And this time the corner kick on the left hand side will be taken by Rodriguez, drilled in low, not a good delivery. Judge swings his boot on it, not a great clearance, drilled back in all the way across the penalty area, and James McLean will have it for Ireland. Hendrick wants it short, McLean goes high through the air over the head of Howard, and really need to take the simple pass. Someone needs to take control of it. It's Coleman this time, visibly panicking, you sense there, just wasn't sure of his bearings, needed a shout, and they're just having a go at each other at the moment now. Whelan, Duffy and Coleman, the three senior men, the three real leaders out on the pitch. All just telling each other, I think we just need to calm it down a bit.
I think somebody just needed to say to Seamus, you time. He obviously saw Alan Judge was looking to make a run in behind.
Here they come again, Switzerland. They're just bypassing Glen Whelan at the moment. Seferovic on the left-hand side of the area has options inside. Again, they go towards that back post. It was Mbabu coming in, and he was just behind him, that cross from Seferovic. He was slightly off balance, and he slices his shot high up into the air and behind down Randolph's goal. They do like that sort of drilled pass in behind the Swiss, but it hasn't come to anything. But this is worrying for Ireland right now.
Well, I think it'll be interesting to see if Mick McCarthy's going to change the way we're set up here. Like we changed in the first half to the 5 at the back with the 3 centre halves when Enda tucked in, because we are staying as a rigid back 4, and then we're expecting our wingers and McLean and Judge to get back to cover the wing backs. But if they don't get back quick enough, they're the Swiss outballs which are creating the chances, which fell to Mbabu there.
44,111 is the official attendance here tonight. It's some crowd for a Thursday evening in Dublin with the kids just back in school. Can this Irish team give them something to get behind? It's been a struggle for the last 10 minutes, but now Ireland are on the attack, and James McLean manages to force a corner kick. Dave Mcgoldrick has been feeding off absolute scraps all night, but has never given up running, and he's got some reward there. Corner kick is taken quickly, short to Howard, left foot across, decent ball in towards Mcgoldrick, bounces in front of Mcgoldrick and just behind Jeff Hendrick, who'd made the run into the 6-yard box and comes all the way to this left-hand side, the Swiss left-hand side, and then Glen Whelan. Well, he takes both Shane Duffy and the Swiss player out of it, went through the two of them. He actually probably could have just controlled the ball there, but he wanted to lay down a bit of a marker, and he has certainly laid down a marker on the Swiss player right down in front of us. It was a tough challenge, but again, a little bit better from Ireland, and that just relieves that pressure valve you sense around the stadium.
Yeah, no, I think Glenn there was trying to probably get a little lift in the crowd to kind of set the tempo.
Well, he's done that because I think he has also, in the process, managed to injure Akanji, the centre half. It was a tough challenge from Glen Whelan. It had a difficult few minutes. They were just starting to start to play it around Whelan. These big moments for Mick McCarthy with this new and, well, rather unusual arrangement where we know that Mick McCarthy is going at the end of this qualification campaign. He could well already be more than halfway through his second spell in charge. Though there is, of course, that even more unusual situation of the Nations League playoff to come next March, which in all likelihood the Republic of Ireland are going to be in regardless what happens over the next 3 or 4 games. Were you aware of that as players, that there's this sort of get out of jail card?
We were aware of it, but you probably, that's wrong. That they've just left the boy back on, Akanji back in, and he's like, as Conor Howard said, a beautiful crossfield pass, but he's come right back on in that area, which has killed the 2v1 we had on the opposite side.
And Mcgoldrick skips past the first challenge there of Fruler, but Switzerland had a lot of men back, so he's forced back, and Ireland, having been under the cosh, suddenly starting to step forward again now. Judge dropping back from an offside position means a free kick to Switzerland, and means that attack breaks down. We're at the exact midway point of the second half. Republic of Ireland 0, Switzerland 0. And Ireland, having had a couple of decent chances towards the end of the first half and the start of the second, have found themselves under enormous pressure as this game has worn on. Switzerland really dominating. Haven't got a chance at all for Seferovic at all. Hasn't had a clear shot on target.
No, he's probably worked more as the link man for Mbolo this evening rather than being the ultimate number 9 looking to score all the time himself.
With Denmark very much in control, as you would have expected in their game against Gibraltar. Stevens goes down, no free kick given. Over on the right hand side, chance for Switzerland to get the ball in, and Seamus Coleman this time is the one who would track the run of Fruler right under his own crossbar, heads it over. But unfortunately at the moment you feel as though it might just be a matter of time before Switzerland make the breakthrough. What has Mick McCarthy got up his sleeve? He can't let it continue like this. That was smashing defending from Coleman.
No, it's brilliant. It's a bit like Judges won, they've read the danger and they put their body on the line. Like Seamus there, you might get clattered because the defender, you're in his blind spot, he doesn't see it coming, and Seamus obviously gets across.
Corner kick taken right on top of Randolph, who manages to punch it clear, sent back in. Swiss player goes down on the penalty spot. Shane Duffy just has a little word there, claiming there was a dive. I think there was just a fair coming together. But Ireland will continue, even with that Swiss player still down in the opposition area. Swiss supporters complaining, don't kick it out under any circumstances. Fire forward, which Ireland are doing with Alan Judge down the right hand side. Oh, and Judge, a rush of blood to the head, smashes his cross over the top of the Swiss crossbar. I don't know, was it a case of he looked up and realised there weren't any options inside the penalty area, but that's real poor.
Yeah, no, look, he's found himself in a great position from the pass from Seamus. I think he's probably tried to fire it across the box low with a lot of pace, and he's taken his eye off the ball and it's just hopped up, and he's nearly cleared the Aviva. But it's been a lot brighter from Ireland, you know, in the sense of that when we're getting into the Switzerland half, we're actually popping the ball around and creating more passes, more options to get the ball wide, to create chances. Obviously that was a disappointing cross from Judge, but it's been better.
Can Ireland just get one chance for one of those attacking players? This place would come alive if Ireland could get a goal, because look, it might be a bit of a smash and grab. It might be exactly what Mick McCarthy thought this game was going to be. Switzerland dominating possession, Ireland, if they get a chance, having to take it. And that's the way it's worked out. Again, strong defending from Ireland. At the back, they've been pretty much flawless again all night. There's no question about that. Shane Duffy, I think, injured himself in the process, though, of knocking that ball back to Randolph. It was very awkward. Ordinarily, you would expect Randolph to just knock it back with his left foot. He sort of threw his right foot at it. There's a bit of pushing and shoving. I'm not sure. I presume it's because the referee blew it. No, I think play because Duffy was down.
Yeah, because Ireland obviously never kicked the ball out when the Switzerland player went down, and then the referee stopped the game there. No,
Seamus Coleman is taking no nonsense from these Swiss players, having a few words with Granit Xhaka.
That's the G.
Was that a little smack in the head from Xhaka towards Coleman? I think it was. Coleman is not happy with that. I wasn't sure initially when Xhaka put his arm up, was he putting it around Coleman? I think he gave him a little pat on the face. And Seamus Coleman and the referee just having a word with the two captains, trying to calm things down. But again, this ain't no bad thing. We don't want to calm it down. Ireland need to just try and get the energy back up.
Yeah, because of course it lifts the crowd. There's a little bit of heat in it, which will suit us, because it will distract them from their, you know, nice silky passing the football.
4-0 now to Denmark in Gibraltar. A couple of goals there from the penalty spot for Christian Eriksen. Thomas Delaney has added the fourth. World's nicest man, Thomas Delaney.
Really?
Stops an hour after the game in Copenhagen. Stops for a chat for about 20 minutes. About life.
Do you know, when we first came across Denmark and I was looking at the squad, I thought, geez, he must have some Irish in him. Thomas Delaney.
Bit of American blood, I think, for Thomas Delaney.
Well, he's obviously applying his trade in Borussia Dortmund now. Very good player.
So Denmark doing the job there, as you would very much expect in Gibraltar. 4-0 up. I think Shane Duffy's going to be okay. Glenn Whelan does the right thing and kicks the ball back to the Switzerland keeper.
It might have been interesting if Glenn had actually chosen to keep onto the ball, just to ruffle a few feathers, of, just upset the Swiss lads. But I suppose the honest and fair thing in the game is to kick it back, because Switzerland were obviously in possession.
Now here is Xhaka wearing the number 10 jersey and that white Swiss shirt as they move up towards the halfway line. 17 minutes left, still scoreless. Listening to Off the Ball on News Talk. We'll have post-match analysis to come with David. And don't forget, OTB AM back on the air from 7:30 tomorrow morning. Adrian's going to be in studio. Stephen Kelly will be alongside him as well, reflecting on tonight's game. As a cross comes in from the left-hand side, little flick on from Mbolo. He's forced, though, his teammate Mbabu wide, and his cross comes off the backside of Enda Stevens and out of play for a throw into the Swiss. Deep inside the Irish half, but they decide to throw back down along the line. Of course, lots more to come on Off the Ball on OTB Sports Radio over the next couple of days from last night's show at the Borgosh Theatre with Roy Keane and Gary Neville. You can check out all of that now on offtheball.com. All 10 Swiss outfield players well inside the Irish half. Zakaria 20 yards out. Oh, it's lovely football, and they've got their goal, and Fabian Schär is the player who's done it. The centre half again, making the burst into the Irish half of the pitch. Lovely quick fire passing, and from 15 yards out he side foots it past Darren Randolph, and it's a hammer blow for the Republic of Ireland and a hammer blow for Mick McCarthy's hopes of getting his side to Euro 2020. This stadium has been silenced by Schär.
It's an incredible goal. I think there's probably 3-4-1-2s the whole way, and Schär's picked the ball up just by the penalty spot, and he's put it in the bottom left-hand corner, or Randolph's bottom left. It's a beautiful finish. Like I did say, I was comfortable with him shooting from 30-40 yards, but as you said, what is it, his 51st cap, and that's his 8th goal, which is incredible for a centre-half. But look, a centre-half shouldn't be 8-9 yards out shooting.
He's threatened that all evening. Just in the build-up to that goal, I mentioned that all 10 Swiss players were at least 10-12 yards inside the Irish half. They pushed everybody forward, and they had enough bodies then that they could make those connecting passes. As David said, a couple of quick 1-2s that were perfectly timed, perfectly weighted, and Shar continued that run from deep. And well, whatever the old cliche, that was a finish of the highest quality. And the Republic of Ireland, well, their backs are against the wall now, not for the first time in this campaign. They managed to dig it out of the fire over in Copenhagen. Can they do it again? 15 minutes left, and Switzerland have made the breakthrough. Fabian Schär, you'd have to say, on what had gone before in the previous 25 minutes, it was probably a goal that Switzerland have deserved. Now it's Enda Stevens looking at the Irish bench, and doesn't look like there's any changes imminent right now. McLean goes to ground, manages to win the free kick off Mbabu. Haven't really seen a huge amount of James McLean in the final third.
Yeah, he's been dropping back an awful lot to help out Enda with the wing back, and that's probably why the balls have been going that long to Mcgoldrick, and he's not been able to get hold of it, because inevitably the lads are hitting balls under pressure up to him, and they're not going straight to him, and they're in the air, so it is difficult for him. But if we can get a few passes, get it going forward, then I'm sure we can create more chances and try and get back into this game.
Yeah, the problem is going to continue to be for Ireland as McLean goes to ground again and wins another free kick. I think it might be a yellow card for Mbabu, just for totting up. He's had 3 or 4 fouls in James McLean over the last 10 minutes, so a yellow card for the right wing back for Switzerland. But you just go through this Irish team at the moment, and there aren't goals at international level. And maybe that game against Bulgaria on Tuesday will be big, from the sense of giving some of the under-21s, getting the likes of Troy Parrott involved. But at the same time, maybe we're expecting far too much from a 17-year-old who's never played a game of senior football. Decent ball into Jeff Hendrick, who was in an offside position. Harahan, from just inside the Swiss half, floated that ball with pace in behind the defence, but Hendrick had made his run just too early. Either way, couldn't get a real good connection on it, and it goes behind for... Well, I think they're just going to take the goal kick rather than the free kick. Mick McCarthy and Terry Connor deep in conversation below us. These are big moments, because losing at home during a qualification campaign generally has devastating effects. Having to go away from home knowing you need a win is not a position you want to be in, particularly going to Georgia and Switzerland next month. And we may well spend a lot of time starting to look at those permutations around the Nations League and who Ireland could end up with. Hendrick goes to ground, wins the free kick there under pressure from Fruler.
Oh, this is better. At least Ireland now are trying to get the ball down and pass it a lot more.
Coleman up the right hand side, has Mcgoldrick for company if he needs him. Mcgoldrick makes the run on the outside, instead he goes in to Hendrick. Eventually it does come to Mcgoldrick, drills across in there over the head of James McLean, might come to Howard, instead he leaves it for Stevens on the left hand side of the penalty area. Switzerland plenty of men back. Stevens sends it towards the back post. Hendrick goes up, doesn't get there. Was there a tug in the jersey? No, there was a push by Jeff Hendrick. The referee decides that it will be a free out to Switzerland. But that is better from Ireland. The question, David, as always, and we've been asking this question for years, I know you've been down there involved, why does it take going behind for Ireland to suddenly start playing a bit of football?
It's the $1 million question, really, isn't it? I suppose the pressure kind of comes off, and you have to take that extra pass, you have to try and get on the ball, you have to try and make something happen, because inevitably you're losing. We got 12 minutes left plus added time. Ireland need to make something happen. When it's 0-0, you're in the game, you're kind of saying, if we can keep it going like this for 90 minutes, we get the point. But it's just disappointing, because two centre halves, the two full backs have been very, very good all game.
Ireland need to be careful now to get caught and to concede a second, because that would be the game you would expect, and it very nearly happened there. But again, Mbolo just indecisive in the final third. He had options either side of him cutting in from the right, and he just sort of toe poked it back to Darren Randolph. Randolph, under pressure from the crowd, rolls it to Duffy. Duffy inside short to Hendrick. 78 minutes gone. Ireland 0, Switzerland 1. The goal from Fabian Schär came just 5 minutes ago after A long spell of Swiss pressure. Hendrick suddenly buzzing around the place, getting involved. But he's in a very, very deep position is the only problem. Glenn Whelan. Terry Connor, I think, has just given the shout down the touchline. He wants somebody back. Ireland are going to make their second change very shortly. Who'll it be? I think McLean might be in the onside position. It was all a bit confusing as Howard played it up along the left touchline because McLean just tried to hold his run, almost fell over, but also it felt as though that put the Swiss defenders off and he might have just got away with it, but the assistant referee's flag did go up.
Yeah, probably just needed to come a little bit quicker, but like you said, it's always this cliche that we go 1-0 down and then we start to play and the lads are knocking the ball around. They're creating a tempo. Obviously, as you can see down there, you're talking about a substitute. You've got James, Cullen, Scott Hogan, Ronan Curtis all warming up, so he might look to maybe add another striker rather than changing a straight replacement.
So it is a throw in to Switzerland. Over on the far side of the pitch, they're attacking down to our left. And it was right in front of those travelling Swiss supporters that Fabian Schär scored that goal. Come on, Ireland! And come on, Ireland is the chant. It's been a quiet Aviva Stadium since that goal went in. Is there to be a grandstand finish though? Up into the Irish half of the pitch comes the goal kick. Keogh gets it down to Howard. McLean goes to ground again. This time the referee says the ball was won cleanly by Veddy. And now it's given to Mbolo. He lays it off then to Fruller. 25 yards out, central position. Has Rodriguez in space and he spots him on this left hand side. Rodriguez closed down by Coleman. Cross blocked down by Coleman. Gets his head on it. Helped on by Mcgoldrick. Can Coleman get on the end of it? The two captains come together again. Lovely touch though from Chaka to take it away from Coleman. And this is good play again from Switzerland. Fruller though. Dave Mcgoldrick's back helping out his defence. Wins the sliding challenge. Turns it out of play for a throw in. But when you're 1-0 down with 10 minutes left, it's not what you need from your striker.
Yeah, no, you want them higher up in the pitch, trying to make something happen, trying to get on the end of something to get Ireland back into the game. You don't need to really see him sliding, but it also shows the commitment of him that he's willing to help out the team.
Scott Hogan is about to come on for these final 10 minutes. Well, they need something from somewhere. Scott Hogan, much like those other attackers on the pitch, still waiting for his first goal in a green jersey. Well, there's a way to make yourself a hero, and it's on nights like this when your side are in desperate need. Ireland have a throw in now down this near side, the Irish right. They're just delaying for a moment the change as they get another throw in about 10 yards further forward, and they are going to make this change, and it's Conor Howard who's going to be replaced by Scott Hogan. Look, it's an attacking change, but Glenn Whelan obviously at this stage of his career, 35 years of age, 10 minutes left. With Conor Howard's set piece ability,
yeah,
surprised by that change?
I think I'm a little bit surprised just alone for Conor's delivery, because he's in.
He is, but he's drifting out to the right hand side and he's forced backwards now because Switzerland are getting men back. Does well though to hold on to possession, gives it to Hendrick. Now Whelan, 30 yards out, was urged to shoot, was never really going to take it on, instead sprays it out to the left hand side where it'll be picked up by Enda Stevens. Switzerland 9 men back defending, back to Whelan again on that left hand side of the area. Stevens with a chance to cross it in. It was a decent delivery in there as well, and there's a diving header from a Swiss defender to turn it behind for a corner kick, and the Irish supporters respond. They start making some noise. The corner kick will be taken over on that far side by Alan Judge. He'll take over set piece duties now.
He just needs to take his time and get a good delivery.
Right-footed in swinger. It is a decent delivery. There was a little nudge by the goalkeeper there before we punched it clear, but you're always going to get away with it. And now they'll try and come in the counter-attack. Mbolo and McLean. McLean shows his pace there, does brilliantly to track that run of Mbolo and manages to win the throw-in as well. Great stuff from James McLean in the closing stages of a match.
I think especially with 83 minutes gone for James to make that long bursting run to get back and win the throw-in, which inevitably gives the crowd a lift, which gives Ireland a lift the last 10 minutes.
Well, it does show the problem again for Mick McCarthy's facing, that when he looks for his attacking options off the bench, he's going to Scott Hogan, who's played very little football over the last 18 months. He has gone to Stoke, has scored this season in the Championship, but can't look and find any sort of a proven international player who's scored goals at this level. But that's the job an Irish manager has to deal with right now. Throw in Darlin midway inside the Swiss half. You're listening to Off the Ball on News Talk Ireland, trail by a 1-0 with 6 minutes left. It's Nathan Murphy and David Meyler with you this evening. Glenn Whelan has it again. Lots of space out in that far side for Stevens. Stevens with the cross in. Decent ball just over the head of Hogan. Then Judge can't get it. Comes out to Whelan. He smashes it off the crossbar. Might still be there for Jeff Hendrick. Hendrick with the header back, and McLean had made the run in. Oh, what a moment that almost was for Glenn Whelan. A pile driver of a shot from 30 yards. Nearly smashed the crossbar. McLean's cross deflects into the air. But Ireland! And David Mcgoldrick gets his first international goal at the perfect time for Mick McCarthy. It was coming in the last couple of moments. Whelan smashed the crossbar. Ireland kept it alive, and the cross from Enda Stevens was met by David Mcgoldrick 5 yards out, and he did enough to put it past the Swiss goalkeeper. Listen to the noise around this stadium. That is what it means. David Mcgoldrick will remember that moment for the rest of his life. It's the Republic of Ireland 1, Switzerland 1, 5 minutes left.
And again, it all came from James McLean making a long bursting run back to win the ball back off Bamboo, and he put in a cross, took a deflection which hung it up in the air. But Mcgoldrick has gone and he's attacked it, and he's blown Hogan, the defender, everyone out of the way, and it's incredible for him. I'm delighted for him to score his first international goal. But again, it comes back to what you said. Why does it take Ireland to go 1-0 down and then they start playing like this?
Well, maybe at some stage we will answer that $1 million question. But much like in Copenhagen, the exact same stage of the game, 5 minutes left, and the Republic of Ireland equalise. And look, our mood changes, our tone changes, and we all know what these games are about. It's getting to the finals. It's been able to have that moment like we had in Lille against Italy. You got to suffer through the qualification. It's rarely pretty with Ireland. It certainly hasn't been tonight. But that, you feel, was a big, big moment from David Mcgoldrick. And maybe now Ireland could go on and even win this game. And really, we talk about the midfield. I question whether Glenn Whelan should be on the pitch. He's been the best player on the pitch for the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Oh, 100%. And obviously he was very unlucky there. With his strike.
That would have been one of the greatest Irish goals we had ever seen.
The problem was he probably caught it too well. He caught it too clean. But again, it's what you want to see. Ireland are on the front foot. They're turning over position in good areas and breaking forward and using the ball well. And as you can hear, the crowd now, that's giving them the lift.
Oh, that is a terrible challenge there by Alan Judge, right in front of the referee. He went in pretty high, and with... Well, the referee, I think, just says,
very interesting.
No yellow card. He's let quite a bit go, the referee.
Yeah,
it is a free kick, though.
He has left the cards go there. That's certainly a yellow card because Judge has wiped him out. But he's got away with it.
Republic of Ireland 1, Switzerland 1. 3 minutes remaining. This place is hopping now as Xhaka sends it in. Keogh manages to get the ball clear. Up there towards Hogan. Out to the right-hand side. The little backheel from Mbabu. Cross comes in from the right. It was one of those, I thought it took a deflection. It was sort of sliced, almost caught Darren Randolph out. It is going to be a goal kick. It was flashed in from the right hand side. I don't think Randolph was quite ready, but either way it goes just over the top of his crossbar, and Ireland are just slowing it down now, just trying to regroup, because I guess there is the possibility when you get that goal everyone just loses the run of themselves. And
yeah, of course, you kind of, but I know, like, sitting here now, I want Ireland to continue the way they've been for the last 5 minutes. That's why they got the equaliser. But if I was on the pitch, I'd be kind of saying to the lads, let's settle it down, let's see this through. A point is a very good result for us because, Switzerland need to beat Ireland.
And it's not done just yet. Jeff Hendrick with a strong challenge, overly physical there though, and Fabian Schär. Coleman getting involved as well. He's been right up for this game, Seamus Coleman. Any little scrap that's going, is keen to get himself involved in it. Switzerland come forward though with Granit Xhaka, who's been average enough tonight, you would say. He's kept things ticking over without anything spectacular. Mbolo on the right hand side of the area knocks it out to Mbabu, closed down by Stevens. Statuesque at the moment, just picking his moment as he brings it towards the end line, closed down by Enda Stevens, and he gets the decision. Tracked the run, Enda Stevens, and as the cross came in, it deflected back off Mbabu and goes out for an Irish goal kick rather than a Swiss corner kick.
Yeah, Enda's just kept growing and growing into this game, and that's excellent one-on-one defending.
Look, there will be the usual post-mortem, and we'll all be part of it, of this game, and the performance and the lack of control at times in midfield. but there is always something about getting a late goal at home, even if it is just to grab a point rather than a winner, that changes the entire tone for the next month.
Yeah, of course. It changes the topic of conversation. If you lose 1-0 or if you draw 1-1, it's a total different, but we still got a few minutes left.
That was a great header by Dave Mcgoldrick, who deserved it for his work rate, not just tonight, but ever since he's really come in to the Irish fold. Ireland lose it down the right hand side, but Hendrick wins it back. There's a little nick of his shin there, and it's going to be a free kick to Ireland.
I think it's going to be Glenn Whelan will probably stand this up now.
Substitution for Switzerland, number 8, Remo Fröhler, being replaced by number 18, Admir Mehmedi.
So you heard that. Admir Mehmedi is the player coming on. Remo Fröhler is the player to be replaced. So free kick, just about 5-6 yards inside the Swiss half. It is Glenn Whelan who's going to just stick it up there towards the far side. Duffy goes up, makes a nuisance of himself, appeals for a handball from the supporters who were a lot closer than we are. Referee gives nothing. Cleared by Switzerland, headed back by Enda Stevens. We're into the final minute of normal time here at the Aviva Stadium. Desperate stuff from both sides. They both know how important a winner could be, as Alan Judge again goes to ground. Thought he'd won the challenge, he hadn't. Referee gives a free kick, and Judge, for several fouls over the last few minutes, picks himself up a yellow card. Huge tension around the stadium now. Can Ireland create one more opportunity?
They're going to make a substitute here. I think Mcgoldrick is going to come off for Alan Brown.
Alan Brown about to come on for the closing stages of this game. Little flick there from the Swiss player. Stevens plays it along the ground forward towards Mcgoldrick. Mcgoldrick, can he take on the defender? Instead he decides to hold on possession. And plays a lovely ball forward towards McLean. Does McLean have the pace to get there ahead of the Swiss defender? He can't. He does well to get the ball back. Fabian Schär, the goal scorer for Switzerland, to his goalkeeper, and again they're calm as they have been. 5 minutes of injury time, and the Irish fans are happy with that. You sense there is going to be another opportunity for somebody. It's opened right up. Players are tired out there. It's been a grueling night. Two, in general, evenly matched sides, even though Switzerland had the better of the second half for a large part of it. Two sides who maybe just lacked a little bit inside that final third. Another decision goes well, and we can't re-emphasise enough how Enda Stevens, after a slowish start, has really grown into this game.
Yeah, no, he has certainly, yeah. It's always the start of a game. Players are fresh, and he's just grown. Every 10 to 15 minutes he's looked better and better. And his defending in the second half has been excellent.
Big night for David Mcgoldrick, one he will never forget. He's the player being replaced. Every Irish supporter around this stadium on their feet to laud Mcgoldrick for his equaliser. Gets a big hug from Terry Connor, from Alan Kelly, and from Mick McCarthy, because that could be a pivotal moment in this qualification race. So he's replaced by Alan Brown. It was a fine header as well. Got himself right up there and directed it into the top corner. Hendrick, midway inside his own half, just trying to get the ball under control there. Whelan involved as well. They need to be careful because they're under pressure by Swiss players, but they do well and release Coleman on this right hand side. Coleman bombing forward now, looks up for options in front of him. He's gained 30-40 yards and played a nice ball into Hogan. Hogan controls it inside the area. McLean's in space. If they can spot him, they can't. It was just in front in the end of Alan Judge. Recycled though by Whelan. Over to the left hand side of Stevens. Judge involved again, in line with the edge of the area on that left hand touchline. Sends a right footed ball in. It's just in front though of Alan Brown and cleared again by Schär. He's been excellent as well as the goal defensively. Hasn't really made any mistakes as they're coming together in midfield, but Switzerland come away and Seferovic can't quite release. Zakari on the right hand side. Richard Keogh, strong challenge back there. Their bodies will ache tonight, the Irish centre halves, but again it'll be all worth it if they get that point. Switzerland have the ball over on the far side, looking for some movement in front, and in behind them they get it. Mehmedi, the substitute, in the right hand side of the area, tracked by Whelan, gets the cross in, cleared by Shane Duffy, just puts his boot through it and fires it out to the Irish left hand side, where it'll be a throw in to Switzerland. The Irish supporters doing their job, not giving them the ball quickly.
Substitution for Switzerland.
Change, and a final change for Switzerland. Edmilson Fernandez is the player on. Instantly it's thrown to him. Mbabu's the player who's gone off, and he's, with these new rules, gone off on that side of the pitch to save some time. Xhaka, 30 yards out, thought about taking the shot left footed. He was closed down quickly though. Laid off to Rodriguez on this left for the Swiss. Back to Chaka. Has some time to send this cross in. Decent ball in. Duffy got a hugely important touch though. Ricocheted off Stevens, and then Randolph darted out a goal to collect the ball. Just a few nervy moments there as that came off Shane Duffy's head. But Ireland and Darren Randolph slow things down again. Well, what a different atmosphere there is now to 10-15 minutes ago, where these Irish supporters feared the worst because they would have had a mountain to climb if they'd lost this game, having to go to Georgia.
That's a foul.
And it was a foul, and it was such a needless foul as well on an Irish player.
And it was, do you know what, we're probably lucky because Alan Judge just made the wrong decision. He probably should have just rolled it out to Seamus, where he looked for Alan Brown down the side. It's just probably that little bit of composure to keep the ball, to create a proper attack rather than forcing the attack.
But it does mean that as we head into the final minute of injury time, the Republic of Ireland may have one last chance. It's almost 15 yards inside the Swiss half, just to the right of centre. Switzerland are holding a high line. It's going to be Alan Judge to take this free kick.
I'd just like to see him there now. Look, Seamus, the position Seamus is in, just to come out to change the angle of the cross, because he's inside the middle of the pitch.
Sent deep there towards Shane Duffy, who gets his head on it but took the goalkeeper with him as well.
No, he's gone for offside. It's offside.
He's gone for offside. And the one thing I was going to say is don't be offside, because a few times they've had that on. There's a bit of afters because Duffy really did take the goalkeeper out of it. The Swiss aren't happy. Schär is right in the face of Duffy. I think Duffy is going to pick up a yellow card for that challenge. He sort of knew what he was doing, Duffy, of this is the final minute I'm going to get at him. You know what? I think the return game in Geneva next month is going to be interesting because there's been quite a little bit of niggle, and there's a yellow card for both Duffy and
Fabian Schär.
Schär.
Yeah, I think it was just the coming together with the head-to-head. All handbags, really. But I think Shane's probably realised he's offside, and he said, you know what, I'll just clatter into the keeper, leave us all get back in our own time, and just probably waste another 30 seconds to a minute.
That you would expect is that for this game. Switzerland roll it out from the back. The referee puts the whistle to his mouth, and the Republic of Ireland, they get the job done. They get a point that looked unlikely for long periods of that second half. David Mcgoldrick is the hero tonight with that equaliser, his first international goal 5 minutes from time. It was a game that very much went as expected. Switzerland dominated possession for large parts. Both sides lacked quality inside the final thirds. There wasn't a huge amount of chances, but Switzerland, as they upped the tempo in the second half, got their goal 17 minutes from time. A wonderful team effort. In the centre half, Fabian Schär stepped forward to get on the end of a couple of 1-2s with a really calm finish. Ireland at that stage were in deep trouble, but they responded, they made changes, and they worked. Glenn Whelan with a rocket off a shot off the crossbar, and then from the same passage of play across from the left hand side from Enda Stevens, took a little bit of a deflection, and David Mcgoldrick was coming in at the back post and headed past Summer in that Swiss goal, and Ireland roll on. This group rolls on, and you would expect that it's going to go right down to the wire between Denmark, Switzerland and the Republic of Ireland for those two qualifying spots. We're going to take a quick break. David Meyler is sticking with us for more analysis, and we'll be back after the break with Joe. 1-1 here at the Aviva Stadium.
Off the ball on News Talk. Down to business.
This Saturday, we'll take a look at the business of getting inked as we talk tattoos. I'll chat to the owners of a business that refused to lay down in the face of rising insurance costs. And the inspirational Pat Divley will tell us about nurturing your brain and your body and reaping the rewards.
Down to business.
Brought to you by Bank of Ireland.
With me, Bobby Kerr, Saturday morning from 10.
On News Talk.
There's not a lot you can get for €36. You could get your nails done, get a takeaway, or redecorate your living room. With Harvey Norman's interest-free finance, you can take home what you really want today. From just €36 a month, you could sleep soundly on your mattress or take home a gorgeous handmade sofa. Interest-free finance terms with Harvey Norman. What would you get?
Terms and conditions apply, subject to assessment. Finance provided by Creation Consumer Finance Limited. For full terms and conditions, visit harveynorman.ie/finance.
EirGrid manages and develops the national electricity grid. You could say it's the heartbeat of Ireland, keeping our country's energy flowing from head to toe across the land. so that everyone has power when and where they need it. Because no matter who your electricity supplier is, it's the power of the grid that keeps our farms and businesses running and our homes warm and bright. Now and into the future, without missing a beat. EirGrid, the current, the future.
If you hold a UK or Northern Ireland driving licence and are resident in Ireland, you will not legally be allowed to drive here after the 31st of October in the event of a no-deal Brexit. In the absence of alternative arrangements with the UK, you will have to apply for a learner permit if you wish to continue to drive in Ireland. It may also have implications for your insurance cover after this date. To ensure you are able to legally drive here post-Brexit and to avoid delays, apply to exchange your licence now. For more information, visit ndls.ie. Getting Ireland Brexit Ready, an initiative of the Government of Ireland.
300 clubs getting vital cash funding. Over 450 schools and juvenile teams supported nationwide. More than 11,000 jerseys, balls and equipment donated. And record-breaking crowds at the last 3 TG Cahir All-Ireland finals. Those are serious numbers. That is serious support. Lidl, proudly supporting ladies Gaelic football.
Keep an eye on your future with a fully funded degree in Industrial Engineering at Griffith College. Fit, Flex, Future. Apply now at griffith.ie. Springboard Plus is co-funded by the Government of Ireland and the European Social Fund as part of the ESF Programme for Employability, Inclusion and Learning 2014 to 2020.
International football is more exciting than ever.
Remember that first time on the terraces, where it all began. The heroes, the villains, the highs, the lows. All the while, you were learning. Now use that knowledge on Football Index. Join tens of thousands of fans trading the world's top players. Football Index. The game changed. App available. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Gamble responsibly.
The Sport Ireland campus Blanchardstown is the home of Irish sport, not just for our athletes but for you in the community. Check out our amazing offers for families with kids camps, sport academies and birthday parties. Or for adults, why not join our gym with a 50-metre pool? Or your club, school, friends can book one of our world-class indoor or outdoor facilities, including our athletics track, soccer, basketball or badminton courts and many more. Check us out on sportirelandcampus.ie.
If you can't get to Japan, create the stadium atmosphere in your home with Harvey Norman. We have a huge range, low prices and interest-free finance terms available. Get the Panasonic 65-inch premium 4K TV for $1,499 or just €45 a month. Or the Sony 55-inch 4K Android TV for $999 or just €86 a month. Get TV ready at Harvey Norman, home of the big screen.
Terms and conditions apply, subject to assessment. Finance provided by Flexify Europe Limited. For full terms and conditions, visit harveynorman.ie/finance.
The Motorsport Show, RDS Seamus Court Dublin. A must-attend event for all motorsport fans, experts, collectors and car enthusiasts. Featuring performance cars, rally cars, drifters, Formula 1 simulator, live runway and much, much more. Saturday 23rd and Sunday 24th November. Tickets from €55 on sale now. Additional charges may apply. For more, see themotorsportshow.com.
Proudly supported by Off the Ball. The O'Brien's annual wine sale is now on, with discounts of up to 50% off a range of over 100 exciting wines. Enjoy half-price Chateau Bentishac from Bordeaux, Monte Real Rioja Gran Reserva, also half-price. There are also over 25 wines under €10 in the sale, and a new Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc, now only €9, save 40%. O'Brien's annual wine sale, now on. Please enjoy alcohol sensibly.
Have a great evening with itsforwomen.ie. Don't live your life on hold. Get a quote now at itsforwomen.ie and see why we're trusted by over 130,000 women in Ireland.
Off the Ball. This is News Talk.
McLean's cross deflects into the air. Veddy! Ireland goal! And David Mcgoldrick gets his first international goal at the perfect time for Mick McCarthy. It was coming in the last couple of moments. Whelan smashed the crossbar. Ireland kept it alive, and the cross from Enda Stevens was met by David Mcgoldrick 5 yards out, and he did enough to put it past the Swiss goalkeeper. Listen to the noise around this stadium. That is what it means. David Mcgoldrick will remember that moment for the rest of his life. It's the Republic of Ireland 1, Switzerland 1, 5 minutes left.
Well, we're feeling a whole lot better about life, I can tell you that. 1-1 full-time result from the Aviva Stadium. The person you heard shouting alongside Nathan Murphy is David Meyler. It was a big moment.
Yeah, no, look.
Thank God, said everyone. What a header.
It was incredible. I'd like to first give great respect and to James McLean and credit, because he worked very hard to go back and win the ball. Obviously the cross did take a deflection, which looped it up, and Mcgoldrick went and he attacked it. I'm thrilled for him. I'm delighted that he gets his first international goal in such an important game.
And it's not easy when a cross takes a deflection and loops up in the air like that to get a bit of purchase on it.
Yeah, well, probably the defender is caught stuck in the mud, and Mcgoldrick has the run on him, which inevitably leaves him go and attack it, and he blows the ball into the back of the net, and he blows the defender out of it. So do you know what, it's a very good point, and the lads will be thrilled.
Yeah, there was a period, I was jotting it down as yourself and Nathan were going through the game, where between the hour mark and maybe 65, 66 minutes, where they were really on top. Alan Judge, a brilliant header off the line there on 64 minutes. Mabubu over on the right hand side put in a good ball. There were another few moments where things got close, and then James McLean won a corner there about 70 minutes, and we thought we're back in this, and then the goal came. It wasn't a great goal to concede. Instantly Glenn Whelan turned to Jeff Hendrick, because Shar had run off Hendrick and said come on, and you only have to switch off for, you'd know this better than most, you only have to switch off in midfield a moment and your man's the other side of you, and he was in and he slotted it home. It was a really good goal.
Yeah, no, look, I think it was probably 3-4-1-2s. Shar had threatened a lot throughout the game, coming forward, bringing the ball out. Now we limited him to shooting from distance from 25, 30, even at times 35 yards, and then he gets himself inside the box, and look, it's a lovely finish. Yes. We spoke during the game, I think it's his 8th international goal in 51, 52 caps, which is remarkable for a centre half.
Yeah.
But it comes down, we spoke about it again in commentary, where why does it take us to 1-0 down? I don't know. I've been in those situations. I've been on the pitch. It's kind of the pressure's off in the sense that we're losing. We
have no choice but to go for it now.
Yeah. And you can't start the game 1-0 down. Do you know what I mean? That's not the right way. But it's when you go 1-0 down, it's about the response. And that team responded for one another tonight, and they responded for the manager, and they put in an incredible last 20 minutes and got what they deserved. Even in the last 4 to 5 minutes, they could have probably created a couple more chances.
Yeah.
But had probably reserved themselves and saying, do you know what, we'll take the draw and we won't lose the game.
The Swiss are a good side. We knew they would be. You could throw Shaqiri in there and they become a whole lot trickier as well. Maybe they were missing him tonight a little bit at times, that little trick or that bit of quality at times in the final third, because they had loads of good possession.
Yeah, well, we spoke off air there about that creative spark in a team. We spoke about Mcgoldrick, how he's dropping in to link things up, but he's probably doing too much out there at times where we need him in the box, and that's why I'm delighted, because he broke his gut to get in and got the goal he deserved.
Yeah.
But if Shaqiri was in there for Switzerland, he's probably creating more for Serovic and Mbolo to score more.
That'll be something for us to worry about in the away leg. We'll be talking about that, I'm sure. Seeing as you brought up Mcgoldrick, man of the match, it's really important for people just listening in tonight to get across, not just for his goal, Mcgoldrick, because, and you said it during the ad break and it occurred to me watching it, anytime the ball goes into his feet, there is quality, there is poise, there's a touch, he can get his head up, he can pick a pass, and you sort of said there during the ad break, this guy is probably the closest thing we have to Wes and the job that Wes did, that bit of composure on the ball, and you know how important that is when you're looking for Wes on the field.
Yeah, of course. Look, Wes is the fella you could give the ball to and he could take care of it. You wouldn't take it off him inside a phone box. He had the little touches, I don't know, was it the height, the size, he had a great, lovely left foot. He was kind of the one you wanted to get on the ball because you knew something could happen. Now, when I say McGoldrick's the closest thing to him, he can get hold of the ball and he can turn a man and he can lay it off. But the problem we probably have now is McGoldrick is doing it for David Mcgoldrick, whereas Wes Houlihan was probably doing it at the time for Darryl Murphy, Robbie Keane. So we need someone probably to step up a bit more to do that, and I believe Jeff Hendrick can do it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I really do, and I've played with Jeff for more or less his whole Ireland career. Jeff can do it. Obviously he's come under a lot of criticism due to not being the so-called player he was in the Euros, but Jeff just probably needs, as weird as this sound, international football comes around every couple of months in the sense of it'll be September, October, November, and then it's off till March. He probably needs a longer run in international football to hit the ground running.
Maybe it's no coincidence when he got into a rhythm at the Euros, that's when he played his best stuff.
Correct, yeah, because you're in that mould, which you're in club football. But Jeff does have that ability. Okay. And you've seen tonight, like, obviously, he's playing Glenn Whelan holding with Connor Howard as well.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting if we could maybe just shove Jeff that little bit forward.
And see,
yeah, because I believe he can do it.
Okay. Glenn Whelan, by the way, tonight cracked one off the crossbar. Fantastic strike. I mean, you think of all the dodgy shots Switzerland had from distance, and Whelan got one chance and he walloped it. And I said to you during the ad break, you could see just with the quality of his passing, nothing spectacular, but you could see with the quality of his passing why the guy has had a brilliant Premier League career for over a decade.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, I shouldn't have to sit here and explain Glenn Whelan's career. Glenn played in the Premier League for probably 10, 11 years. Played week in, week out under Tony Pulis, Mark Hughes. Even last year with Aston Villa, Glenn was regularly playing. The team that won the playoffs. Like, he is 80, I don't know, tonight his 88th or his 89th cap, right? But you don't play for Ireland to get that many caps. You play for 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
You don't play in the Premier League. I think he's about 260 odd appearances in the Premier League. Like, you don't do that if you're a bad player. And
they signed a midfielder every summer thinking that'd be the end of Whelan, and every time he saw them off,
Yeah, but people, he gets unfairly criticised, and he does a very important job. Now, it's very easy for me to say that because I play in the same position as Glenn, or I have done, and I know what's required. People are like talking about, the time when Wes would have played, the little step over, the little trick, the little intricate passing, the creating the chances. But it's the work Glenn does that people don't see, and you need fellas like that. It's not Glenn will go out there tonight. It's not about Glenn Whelan. It's about Ireland, and it's about the team doing the best for the other midfielders, the forwards, for them to create. Like, as you said during the air breaks, I spoke to you about when I played. My job was to win the ball back and give it to a better player. And there's other fellas are like that. And Glenn might probably disagree that he'd say, well, I'm as good as anyone else, which is fine.
Yeah.
But you give it to the player who can make something happen, more times than you can.
Yeah, no, I take the point. Well, listen, thanks so much for doing that tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I dipping the toe into the media game. Very good job. So that was David Meyler, who was on co-commentary with Nathan. I have a few things to tell you about before we go. We're going to be in Limerick, September 18th. We'll have a brilliant rugby roadshow there in association with Heineken. So Clive Woodward is going to be with us, Brian O'Driscoll, Keith Wood, the comedian Pat Short, and more. If you fancy coming along on the 18th of September, offtheball.com/events. And then October 15th, another rugby roadshow. Board Gosh Energy Theatre, where we were last night, the 15th of October. Michael Lina, Chester Williams, O'Driscoll, Brian O'Driscoll obviously, Keith Wood, Paul Howard, and a few other special guests we're keeping under wraps for the moment. And once again, offtheball.com/events, the place to get those tickets. All in association with Heineken, official worldwide partner to Rugby World Cup Japan 2019. Visit drinkaware.ie. Tomorrow morning, as usual, OTBAM, 7:30, offtheball.com. All our social channels. Owen and Adrian in studio. They'll have Stephen Kelly with them, Alan Quinlan as well. And then tomorrow night we'll play you more from Roy Keane and Gary Neville, recorded last night with thanks to Cadbury, official snack partner of the Premier League. Tom Dunn is on the way next. We leave you with a very relieved, I think, Aviva Stadium. A 1-1 draw. Ireland still in a very good position in Group D as they bid for a place at Euro 2020. Good night.
There's not a lot you can do with just €8 a week. Buy some bin tags, pay your parking fees, or create the stadium atmosphere with a new big screen TV. With Harvey Norman's interest-free finance terms, you can take home what you really want today. From as little as €8 a week, get through twice the laundry with a new large-capacity washing machine, or store all you need with a brand new American fridge freezer. Interest-free finance terms with Harvey Norman. What would you get?
Standard fees, terms and conditions apply, subject to assessment. Finance provided by Flexify Europe Limited. For full terms and conditions, visit harveynorman.ie/flexi-fi.
Assistant, I have my eye on a law degree. Where should I study?
Griffith College will tip the scales in your favour.
Case closed. Fit Flex Future. Visit griffith.ie.
It's been said an official Ford service is more trouble than it's worth. Let's bust that myth. Our Ford trained technicians are best placed to service your vehicle. They use Ford Video Check, a state-of-the-art technology which sends you a video of any faults found, so you can approve the repair work required online. Starting at €149 for cars and €169 for vans, you get a free €20 one-for-all card. Contact your local Ford dealer or book online at